and got roughed up quite a bit. 6 runs he gave up in that inning, the last 4 coming on a grand slam over the arch nemesis by Jeremy Barfield, and the Skeeters won by the score of 9-3, dropping the Revs to 5-6 on the season. That's good for a second-place tie with Lancaster in the Freedom Division. On the other side, the Bridgeport Bluefish 5-5 as they come into this one. They won an abbreviated 3-game series over New Britain at home over the past weekend. The last one coming on Saturday, an 11-inning walk-off win over the Bees. They had a chance to take a 3-1 series win over New Britain, but that game got rained out on Sunday, one of the 2 washouts in the Atlantic League yesterday. We've got only 2 games in the Atlantic League so far today. Well, at all. Today, Sugar Land at New Britain is the other contest, as the other 4 teams in the league are off. Well, let's throw it to commercial here. When we come back, we've got pregame interviews. First is Daniel Carrela, he who struck out 4 over 2 innings during yesterday's game, and then after that, Darrell Henry goes inside the clubhouse with Mark Mason as he talks about game number 12 for the Revs this season. All that and much more on this fine radio program, so stick with us. You're listening to the Revs pregame show on WOYK.
Looking for something cool to do this weekend? Come to the coolest place in town and learn to play hockey or figure skate at the York Ice Arena. The York Ice Arena offers a Learn to Skate program for skaters of all ages and abilities, directed by ISA and USFSA qualified instructors. Skating classes range from beginner to freestyle. Hockey classes cover the basics of the game. All classes include free skate rental and 5 free skating passes, so you can try out your new skills. And remember, the coolest place in town is also available for the coolest birthday party in town. Host your birthday bash in group spaces or with a private ice rental. Public skating at the York Ice Arena is available afternoons, evenings, and weekends. Skate for just $7 and rent your skates for just $3. Plus, you can save with discount pass books. Oh, and ask about gift cards and kids' prepaid debit cards. So if you're looking to learn something cool, come to the coolest place in town and learn to skate at the York Ice Arena. For more information and to register, go to yorkskate.com. Get into the ball game with great savings and great weekly specials at your Sure Save neighborhood markets. Use your gold card every time you shop, and you automatically receive savings and rewards. And get incredible deals on the new Best Yet brand products at Saubel's Markets, Wetzel's Market, and also at Nell's Market Fresh Foods. Always a hit and always great savings.
Need some fun with your food? Where else but Friendly's? Stop by Friendly's at 423 Laux Road in York for great deals like 50% off breakfast Monday to Friday from 7 to 11 a.m. or one of our 5 lunch and dinner meals for $5.55, including the quarter-pound cheeseburger. Stop by after the game with your Revs game ticket and save 15%. Friendly's has got you covered with great deals all day long. Friendly's, life with extra sprinkles.
Individual game tickets are now on sale for the 2016 York Revolution season. Be there as the Revs celebrate their 10th anniversary season with the biggest promotional schedule in team history. 20 giveaways, including 8 bobbleheads, inside the park fireworks shows every Saturday, and a host of incredible entertainment acts like Cowboy Monkey Rodeo, Superstars, the Philly Fanatic, and an appearance by former NASCAR driver Ernie Irvan. Buy online at YorkRevolution.com, over the phone at 801-HITS, or in person at the Apple Chevrolet ticket office.
Join me, Steve Zabin, mornings at 6 on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Back on the Revs pregame show on WOYK as 2 of our full-time staffers beat each other to bits in giant inflatable bubbles of some kind. I think I saw those on TV in the 90s. We will turn it over to Daniel Carrela. He was our pregame interview today. Danny, relief pitcher, having a much better outing yesterday than his first time. Let's take a listen.
We're talking with Daniel Carrela, coming off of a 4-strikeout, 2-inning performance yesterday against Sugar Land. Danny, what was working for you so well yesterday?
I just try to go out there and do my job and focus on what I haven't done in the past, in the previous outing. So I try to go out there and incorporate it in the last outing.
Now, you had quite a rude awakening on the hill after taking one off of your right thigh to get the out. Is the bruise still there?
Yeah, it's a little bit, but I'm still going to go out there and compete. I'm still a soldier, so.
When you've got a sort of moment like that, how does it affect how you come and pitch the next guy? I mean, obviously you can't, pitch scared, but it's got to be something that's like, well, that happened.
No, I mean, it's part of the game, so you can't sit down and think about it and dwell on it. So you got to try to recuperate and think about what you got to do the next pitch to the next guy.
Your last outing before Sugar Land and Somerset was a bit rough. How do you approach future game days after you're coming off of an outing where things could have gone better?
I mean, I try to look at the things that I didn't do in that outing. So like I said, I try to incorporate it in my next one. So I try not to think about the past, and I try to think about what's going to happen right now and try to help the team win in the next game.
And then conversely, when you come off an outing where you do so well, like on Sunday, what do you do to sort of not get too high in the same way that not getting too low?
No, you just try to keep neutral. Just keep working, try to keep doing your work ethic day in, day out, and just try to go out there and compete.
Now, when you're coming off of a Sunday game and back to the ballpark on Monday, is it kind of tough to really get back into the swing of things there after going home and it being almost like a regular job on a Sunday afternoon?
Yeah, you just got to go out there and just, after the game is done, you go home, shower, get dressed, and just lay there and just watch movies and try to get as much rest as you can.
You got any favorite movies that you usually watch?
Not really. I love watching TV, but I don't have like a specific movie. I'm a movie type of guy, but I don't have specific. I just love movies.
Will we expect you to be one of the movie guys on the bus when the team hits the road again?
No, not really. I leave that all to the guys that sit in the front.
Now we got Bridgeport coming into town today. Do you know anything much about these guys? And if you don't, how do you approach it when you got a team that you haven't really seen much before? I
try not to think about what the other team has. Again, like I said, I have to focus on what I can do to compete and help the team win on that given day. If I go out there and they give me the ball, so I have to compete. So I try to go out there and do my best.
All right, Daniel Corella, good luck tonight. I hope you do your best if you get in.
Thank you. Thank you. All right.
That was Daniel Corella, relief pitcher. He threw in the game yesterday over 2 innings, 31 pitches. So unless we see a very, very long game with a lot of extra innings, I would not expect to see Corella in this one. And even if we do, only for probably a couple of pitches, maybe in a situation. We'll throw it to another commercial. When we come back, Darrell Henry goes inside the clubhouse to talk to Mark Mason. Thanks for staying with us. Stay tuned for more here on the WOYK Revs pregame show.
This is the Dan Patrick Show.
Let's go! Johnny Manziel is going to end up with one of those guys you say, whatever happened to him? He doesn't get it. The world moves on very, very quickly without you. I don't care what you did in college. The world, the NFL world, moves quickly, and they'll move on right without you. And I think that's what's eventually going to happen. Maybe somebody gives him another chance here, but he's not better than Josh McCown. He's just not. And he wasn't ready for this. He needs to learn to be a professional. That's why I said I agreed with the Browns. Manziel had a couple of touchdown passes, and one was just, hey, I just go someplace and I'll throw the ball and see if something good happens. What do you have, 8 completions? He wasn't ready. He's not ready. Not ready to be a professional. And maybe he won't be.
The Dan Patrick Show.
We are going to PAR. T-Y.
Mornings at 9 on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
The Steve Zabin Show.
Brian Williams has taken a leave of absence. And I'm not sure about you, Scott, but I've had just about enough Brian Williams remembers themes on Twitter. Photoshops, snarky jokes,
Reporting from the Hindenburg,
the Alamo,
They're
etc.
out there.
Yep.
Waking up America like no one else.
Now they're digging into his reporting from things like Hurricane Katrina.
Yes, where he said he saw
where he
bodies.
reported seeing a body floating past his hotel in the French Quarter. Don't get me started on Katrina. That is one of the greatest media debacles ever. The stuff that was reported as fact that turned out to be not just untrue, but flat-out fabrications. Brian Williams saying, I saw a body floating down Bourbon Street. That was like the least of the lies.
Steve Zane, mornings at 6 on Sports Radio 1350 WOIK. First in York, first in sports.
Listen up, people.
This is the Rich Eisen Show.
He's a professional.
And I did tweet out on 4th and 19, go blue. Irvin took a picture of me in the NFL Game Day morning meeting room celebrating, and I stupidly looked at his phone and did it. And he tweets it out what Rich Eisen was like when he thought You Miss Football won. I can't show you what it was like when they did not win. Do friends do that to friends? No.
The Rich Eisen Show. Weekdays at noon on Sports Radio 1350 WOIK.
Hi, this is Dan Patrick. Join me weekday mornings at 9 on Sports Radio 1350 WOIK.
Fans, it's time to go inside the clubhouse for the latest on your York Revolution and tonight's matchup. It's time for the Broadway Transmission Managers Report. Now, here's the manager of the Revs, Mark Mason.
Well, Mace, yesterday you knew going in that the bullpen was a little bit limited. How big of an impact did you feel that it had on that game as far as having to stretch certain guys out and just limiting your options in general?
Well, I mean, it definitely had an impact on everything that we did yesterday. It's hard when you're asking guys to give you multiple innings when they haven't done that all year, and we knew we had about 4 or 5 guys that were unable to play yesterday just because of how many times they had been used going into yesterday. We had one guy had a blister on his finger, one guy was a little bit sore, so we were down about 4 or 5 arms as we got into the latter part of that game. So I mean, it definitely had an effect on the outcome, I thought.
Tough outing for Click. He's been pretty good for you, and obviously we know what he did last year. I guess at certain points in a season, relievers have a game or two like that. How do you look at that? Does that change anything for you with him?
No, not really. I mean, his velocity was still good. I just think when they had guys on base right away, he really wanted to go to his bread and butter pitch, which is his fastball, and I think they were sitting on it. Location probably wasn't the best for him yesterday, and when you become predictable, we talked about that the other day. When you become predictable out there as a pitcher, the hitters, they do have a little bit of an advantage, and they know if you're not getting your secondary pitches over with guys already on base, you're probably not going to go to them that often because you can't afford to walk anybody. So the hitters got more aggressive, and I mean, to their credit, yesterday, they were able to do a good job against him.
Micah Owings kind of easing his way in his first start with 2 innings. How did he look to you?
The first couple hitters, I thought he looked a little tentative, which I was not surprised by that. But toward the, I think the last hitter he faced in the first inning, and then the second inning he went out, he felt he had good command of a slider, so I think that boosted his confidence level. Well, he has electric stuff. He has a mid-90s fastball and a good little slider or cutter. So he got line drived in the rear end. So, and with the cold weather, I think that was starting to tighten up on him when he went to push off the mound. So he was feeling that a little bit. But I think had he not been hit with the ball up the middle, we might have been able to get another inning out of him. I think he just started to get tight there, and he was having a hard time using his lower half.
I guess one thing that we looked at yesterday, the 4th inning opportunity to extend the lead, couple of pop-ups, unfortunately. Did you feel like, or do you want to guard against your guys getting too big with the swings, or did that not quite have anything to do with that particular situation?
Well, I mean, the night before we hit some home runs, so I think anytime you come up with bases loaded in this ballpark, you're thinking visions of grandeur. And unfortunately, when you think that way, a lot of times you do get the result that we got yesterday. I think we hit most of our home runs when we try to hit the ball to right center, when our right-handed hitters try to hit the ball to right center, and basically by letting the ball get a little deeper, they square it up and you see more home runs go toward the wall or just to the right of the big wall in left field. So when you get excited and you want to really smash it, sometimes you jump out in front and kind of flip it up in the air with your hands, and unfortunately that's what we did yesterday.
Well, tonight you've got Calvin De La Cruz going and pretty solid in that first start at Somerset about a week ago. Your thoughts on him and also how much of a bullpen you have behind him here tonight?
Well, obviously, we know he can throw over 100 pitches. He's already done that. If he has his good stuff, he'll be out there through 6 innings. I'm confident of that. But you never know what's going to happen until we get into the game. The bullpen is in a little better shape today than it was yesterday. So we picked up a few more guys that are available today. So I think on the bullpen end we'll be able to match the game up the way we normally would if we have the lead going into the 7th inning and stuff like that. But otherwise we'll just have to wait and see how it plays out.
All right, Mace. Thanks a lot. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Dale Henry with Mark Mason, manager of the York Revolution, and we're going to throw it to one more commercial. Well, we will in just a moment here. First, we'll give you the starting lineups for both sides. First, for Luis Rodriguez's Bridgeport Bluefish Ball Club. Leading off, playing shortstop, is Luis Hernandez. He is a switch hitter. Batting second is the center fielder, Wilkin Ramirez. Dan Johnson is first baseman. He's batting third. Jose Cuevas, the DH tonight, he's batting fourth. Luis Rodriguez, the hitter, is second baseman, and he will bat fifth. Josh Vitters is over at the hot corner, third base, to bat sixth. Carlos Sosa in left field, batting seventh. Rosmel Perez is the catcher, he'll bat eighth. And Luis Nunez, batting ninth, he's in right field, and they will try and get runs on the board for the southpaw starter for Bridgeport out of Drexel Hill, Pennsylvania. Now he's from Glen Mills, Pennsylvania. Mike Antonini making his third start of the year. He is 1-1 with a 3.72 ERA. 6 runs, 4 earned in 9 2/3 innings. He last saw action in Southern Maryland on April 26th. That was a win. Gave up 3 runs in 5 innings of work. Now for Mark Mason's ball club, this is the York Revolution starting lineup. All right-handers once again. Isaiah Tejeda is leading off in place of Jason Repko. He's playing for the first time since the first game of the Somerset doubleheader on April 27th. He'll bat leadoff and play left field. Josh Wilson at shortstop to bat second. Andres Perez getting a look at first base today. He'll bat third. Telvin Nash getting a day off from the field. He's the DH and the cleanup hitter once again. Joel Guzman, after such a strong Sugarland series, is over at the hot corner. He's batting fifth as usual. Brian Pounds over at second base. He is batting sixth. James Simmons in center field. He's batting seventh. Salvador Paniagua is catching today. He and Keith Castillo have been in that rotation, one every other day in the early part of this season. But Paniagua is getting the start tonight. He's batting eighth. And Michael Rocket out in right field as opposed to left field today. He's batting ninth. And the starter once again is the left-hander Kelvin De La Cruz, making his third start of the season. Third appearance, rather, second start, and first in front of the home fans here at PeoplesBank Park. Picked up a loss at Somerset on April 26th, allowing 2 runs over 5 innings of work. And now we will take one quick look at the Atlantic League standings before we throw it to our final commercial break and before the beginning of the game today. We'll start across the pond in the Liberty Division. It's a literal pond, by the way. It separates the Liberty and Freedom divisions. Somerset threatening to run away with the whole thing, and we're only 2 weeks in. 11-0, the defending champion Patriots. They find themselves 5.5 games up on the second place Bridgeport Bluefish, who you're about to see tonight. Bridgeport at 5-5, and then New Britain and Long Island, each 4-6, tied for third place and 6.5 games back. In our Freedom Division, the Sugarland Skeeters broke a 3-way tie with a win over the Revolution yesterday. They're 6-5, and they are sitting in first place. Lancaster and York, each 5-6, each 1 game back, and in the basement of the division and the entire league, the Blue Crabs of Southern Maryland, who are 2-8. Your out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by York Mitsubishi. Only other game in the Atlantic League tonight, Sugarland at New Britain, and they are just getting underway over there. Okay, we're going to throw it to our final commercial break here, and when we come back, we will have the call. Darrell Henry will join me for the first pitch, and we will play some Monday Night Baseball here in Central PA. You are listening to the Revolution pregame show on WOYK.
Hey sports fans, great news. Now you can listen to Sports Radio 1350 anywhere with the new WOYK mobile apps. Stranded in Siberia? No problem. Kidnapped by wolves? It's not as bad as you may think. Wherever you are, WOYK is with you on the brand new mobile apps. York's only local sports station just went mobile and global. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports.
The War of the Roses is the grittiest Revolution battle since Bunker Hill, and in 2016, it's bigger than ever. Sponsored by PNC Bank, the 20-game series between York and Lancaster now has unique on-field hats that will be worn exclusively during these contests. Pick out the ticket plan that nets you all 10 home games against the Barnstormers and receive a replica of the York War of the Roses hat. Be on site each and every time the Revs take on their Cross River rivals. Enlist today at 801-HITS or in person at the Apple Chevrolet ticket office.
What's up, y'all? This is the Dan Patrick Show.
And you're listening to the best.
Okay. Mattingly and the Dodgers realized it wasn't working out. Nobody wants to say somebody was fired. Nobody wants to say somebody was resigned. Now, I know it's semantics here. Mattingly's gone and the Dodgers move on. I do think it's best for both because I think with new management, they want their guy. They want a sabermetrics and analytics guy. Mattingly was not that guy.
Dan Patrick.
Don't be a hater. Mornings at 9 on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Okay, here we go, people.
This is The Herd.
Where are you again?
With Colin Cowherd.
There were some questions here you're going to ask me, or we're going to talk some hoops? I'm square with you, yeah, because I'm just getting ready for the season.
That was clunky.
You had better be defending Popovich on this one.
Why?
After what you said 2 days ago about Kershaw, you were defending that Kershaw can say whatever he wants and treat the reporters however he wants to.
That's different. Popovich was being a jerk just to be a jerk. Like Kershaw had a private information moment that he felt would tear the fabric of his team and his relationship with Mattingly apart. This is Popovich doing an interview like Harbaugh for me, and he's just trying to be obnoxious. Those questions are not difficult. There's no information he's keeping from the public. But if you don't want to do an interview, then just don't do the interview. This was just Popovich being obnoxious.
Colin Cowherd.
It's at 3 on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
The Steve Zabin Show.
Gronk and the Patriots were at the Bruins-Islanders game.
Gronk appeared somewhere this week?
I never
he's a
recluse. He was wearing a Bruins custom 87, Gronkowski on the back, and I immediately thought of Scott saying, wouldn't you love to have that jersey?
No. I have the Murray jersey that the Frederick Keys made for him one time.
Waking up America like no one else.
So Gronk is at the game, and he's out there on a carpet runner with the other Patriots.
Yeah, Patriots and Bruins jerseys.
And of course, he's got to do the Gronk spike. So he Gronk spikes the puck, and it goes over the glass, like 40 feet away, into the stands. Who knew that spike was powerful enough to launch a puck over the glass?
Look at chip the ice.
Steve Zabin, mornings at 6 on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports.
And here we go, folks. She steps up to the box. This is a real pressure situation. 2 kids tugging at her blouse, a long line of customers, and only 30 minutes to get in, get a dozen maple donuts, and get to the party.
Oh boy, look at the time.
Well, Charlie Donuts All-Stars winds up, and here's the pitch.
Welcome to Maple Donuts. Can I help you? Yes. No. I'm sorry. I'm not quite ready.
Oh, she steps out. The pressure may be too much, folks. No, wait, what's this? A meeting at the plate?
Okay, Mommy needs to order our maple donuts now. Can you two be good, please?
And she steps back up to the box.
All ready now? I am.
She's swinging for the fences.
I'll have 4 glazed, 3 vanilla sprinkles, 3 chocolate icing, 2 jelly filled, and 1 chocolate peanut covered.
Wow, that was Major League. She read every stitch of that fastball and knocked it clean out of the park.
Enjoy your maple donuts. Oh, we will. Okay, kids, let's go. Let's get these maple donuts to the party.
There you have it, folks. Maple Donuts, 58 varieties. Ready whenever you need to step up to the plate.
Maple Donuts taste right.
Your teams all the time. York's only place for local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Kelvin De La Cruz taking his warm-up tosses as we are just about ready for York Revolution baseball here on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. Defensive alignment is this. The southpaw De La Cruz is on the hill. Salvador Peniagua, his battery mate tonight. Over at first base is Andres Perez. Brian Pounds at second. Joel Guzman at third. Josh Wilson at shortstop. The outfield left to right, Isaiah Tejeda, James Simmons, and Michael Rocket. And now on the best night for baseball that we've had at PeoplesBank Park this season, we turn it over to the voice of the Revolution for 10 years. Here he is, Mr. Darrell Henry.
All right, thank you, Will. And indeed, it is an absolutely beautiful night for baseball. We paid the price. We paid our dues those first 4 days, but it is picture perfect tonight. 75 degrees at game time and pretty much mostly clear. Sun shining as Luis Hernandez digs in. Our Dasher Investment Services first pitch is a little bit low. We are underway. A 6:38 start time here this evening. Oh, that was close. Now the wind and the 1-0. And Hernandez pops it up. Right side of the infield. Pounds sprinting toward Perez just in case, but it's Dre right near the bag at first base. And then he almost flipped it high and away from Pounds on the around the horns startup, but Perez puts it away. The former Bluefish handles the first out. Bridgeport in their alternate teal jerseys tonight. The Revs are in their home whites, the traditional navy caps. Here is Wilkin Ramirez. De La Cruz the pitch. It is outside for ball one. A lot of new names on this Bridgeport lineup from last year. They're off to a 5-5 start. 1-0, and that's a called strike, outside corner. The hitter Ramirez not overly thrilled with it. Brian Child, our plate ump here tonight. A 1-1, and a backdoor cutter, and that's a strike right on the black. First base ump is Tyler Thurmond. Kurt Brainen, the umpire at third base. Ramirez at 290 at the plate. And De La Cruz delivers, and just outside, 2-2. Fastball at 91. The Bluefish last year, manager Ricky Van Asselberg, who came over from the American Association, they did not have a good year. There's the wind and the 2-2, and it misses down and in. So De La Cruz will go the distance on Ramirez. But Van Asselberg brought a lot of guys from that American Association with him. And now this season, the vast majority are gone. Payoff pitch, called third strike, and Ramirez knew it. De La Cruz, a perfect spot, knee high on the outside corner, and he goes 2 up, 2 down to start his night. Well, already, much better rhythm than he had in that last start at Somerset. And he went well overall. A 2-1 loss, 5 innings, 2 runs, but the first 4 batters reached, including a first pitch bunt single. And he was down 2-0 right away, and then the team only scored 1 run. Here's the left-hand hitting Dan Johnson, who takes a strike. Johnson hitting just 158. As De La Cruz grips it, and the 0-1, that misses a little bit low. Johnson does have a home run, but on a bit of a cold spell of late, 1 for 17 his last 5. Revs playing him to pull slightly. The 1-1, and he tried to check, appeal to third, and he did lay off, according to Kurt Brainen. It is 2 balls and a strike.
How much of De La Cruz's first start, Dale, do you think was jitters of playing in the ballpark that you used to call home? He was in Somerset for 8 starts last year.
It's a good point. A lot of familiar guys. The 2-1, and he misses down low, ball 3. I don't know. I possibly some of that. I think it all got off on the wrong foot on a first pitch bunt hit, and then he was ahead of Aaron Eggleston, who just kind of filleted one over short for a base hit, and all of a sudden the first and third. Here's a pop fly, though. Should be out of the inning quickly here. Guzman back from third, and a step into foul territory. Puts it away. And Kelvin De La Cruz looking much more comfortable out of the gates tonight. A 1-2-3 top of the first at the end of a half inning. It's the Bluefish nothing, and the Revs coming up.
Broadway transmission? I don't know how they do it.
We've been in business for 60 years at the same location.
I don't know how they do it.
It's our long-term nationwide warranties.
Oh, and don't forget our online appointment scheduling.
I still don't know how they do it.
They towed in my van at no cost with my repair.
It's our ATRA certified technicians. Don't forget the good-looking genius in the office.
Come on, man. I know they help me with financing. Still, with my bad credit, I don't know how they do it.
I did my research and felt comfortable that Broadway is a AAA approved specialty repair shop. I showed my AAA card and saved some hard-earned cash.
I was happy to get a $100 rebate in the mail after the job was done.
I sure don't know how they do it, but I do know they get it done, and they get it done right.
Broadway transmission. We'll get your shift together and back on the road fast. Check us out on the web at BroadwayTrans.com or stop in and see how it's done.
What if I told you your family of four could have an all-inclusive outing for only $55? The York Revolution are telling you that right now. The Family Fun Pack includes 4 flexible ticket vouchers to be used whenever you'd like, 4 food vouchers for hot dogs, chips, and drinks, 2 playground wristbands, and a parking pass. Again, $55. Have more than 4 in your family? Additional tickets and food vouchers are only $10. Buy online at YorkRevolution.com, over the phone at 801-HITS, or in person at the Apple Chevrolet ticket office.
All about local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
A lot of guys new to the league making their first visit to PeoplesBank Park tonight. Makes you wonder how much of a heads up the new Bluefish had on Cannonball Charlie's routine to get us started.
My guess is not. Very much not.
We did not extend the courtesy to our counterpart Mike Moore, who's making his first visit.
I think he knows now.
Left-hander Mike Antonini is ready to go. Jason Repko a night off tonight, and Isaiah Tejeda will go into the leadoff spot so that everybody else can stay in order. And Tejeda making his 4th appearance, 1 for 8 with a double at the plate, and a guy that I'm sure could use some at-bats. Antonini ready, and the lefty's first pitch of the night is over the outer half. It's a called strike.
It's been a long break for Tejeda. As mentioned, he last played in the first game of the Somerset doubleheader back on the 27th, so just about a week ago.
And he takes an outer edge strike here, 0-2. It's his home debut here tonight. And followed by Wilson and Perez here in the bottom half of the first. 0-2. And up high, he started the turn. They'll appeal to first. He held. Tejeda, the versatile defender, primary position catcher, but he's in left field tonight. Saw him in the infield in spring training. And Antonini deals. And is swinging a bouncer toward short. To his left goes Hernandez. He'll cut it off on a high hop and fires to first in time. 1 away. You know, Will, if you're athletic enough to catch, you probably can play almost every position.
At least when you're young and before your knees give out.
Yeah.
And Isaiah is young. He's 24 years old. He'll turn 25 around the end of October. So all those years of squatting have not yet caught up to him yet, which means he can actually bat leadoff.
They've moved some guys in the majors before the knees caught up. Here's Josh Wilson, who bounces one down to third. 2 hops to Vitters, who was up on the grass. He'll fire it across. And 2 ground ball outs for Antonini to begin things. The most prominent name that comes to mind being Craig Biggio, who originally was a catcher. They moved him to second base. And that was Brian Pound's favorite player growing up. Houston boy. Here's Andres Perez with 2 men down. Perez hitting at .216 coming in. One of the more surprising factoids is Antonini deals and misses high and away. Perez only hitting .160 against lefties, but then again, we were at Somerset where they're nearly impossible to see. There's the 1-0.
And that misses outside. Antonini 1-1, a 3.72 ERA coming in. And coming off a win, he deals. And a ground ball skidding to short. Another play for Hernandez. He'll crank it across. It's a 1-2-3 inning. Antonini with 3 ground ball outs, and the Revs turned aside in the first. We head to the second. No score.
It's the angles, the ball skills, the corner kicks. It's knowing how to shield a defender off the ball. It's knowing how to make a wall pass. It's knowing how to curl the ball, how to chip it, how to trap it, how to launch it, how to finish it. It's soccer, and nobody knows that better than Flying Feet sports shoes. Flying Feet. Suit up for soccer at Flying Feet, where players new to the game find everything they need, and collegiate-level players find all that and more. Soccer shoes for men, women, and children from the names that know the game. Adidas, Diadora, Lotto, and Nike. Players choose Flying Feet to get the right shoe at the right price, plus a huge selection of soccer socks, soccer shorts, shin guards, and sports bags. Even referees get the nod at Flying Feet, where refs come for all their gear. Individual players, entire teams, if it's soccer, it's Flying Feet sports shoes. The sportswear specialty store without specialty store prices. Flying Feet. 1511 Mount Rose Avenue, just off exit 18 of I-83, next to Battery Warehouse.
Hi, this is Tom Dasher, president of Tom Dasher Investment Services. I specialize in retirement planning and strategies to meet individual personal goals. Whether you are looking for wealth accumulation to maximize your retirement income. Oh heck, this is sounding just like another commercial. Hey listen, it's this simple. We use risk-free investment vehicles, whether you are looking to still build wealth accumulation or you want retirement income or a combination of both. It is all about getting your money parked in the place that will benefit you the most. If you want to do that, call me. My office number is 246-3879 or my mobile is 487-2096 or contact me at my new website at tomdasher.com.
For local sports on your smartphone, search WOIK at the App Store.
Both left-handers with 1-2-3 first. Calvin De La Cruz missing outside on Jose Cuevas leading off the second inning. Bluefish DH hitting .313 coming in tonight. The 1-0, and he swings and chops one up the middle. Wilson from short, he'll glove it right by second, and he sidearms to first. One away.
Wilson a touch of luck that time. That ball came close to hitting on the lip where the infield meets the grass, but it bounced a couple of inches onto the grass, and the hop remained true for Wilson. A nice, easy play.
I'm sure he was happy to go to Somerset and then come home, 2 of the most pristine playing surfaces in the league, as Luis Rodriguez takes a strike. I hate to say it, but the infielders didn't have much great to say about our first stop. The infield this year could use some work. Here's a swing and a looper to shallow right, pounds out from second, and in front of the right fielder tonight, Rocket pounds the one who puts it away. Luis Rodriguez retired, and quickly 2 down. The air totals have gotten under control since we left New Britain. Here's Josh Vitters. He's batting at .250 with a home run and 3 driven in. Vitters some big league time. The pitch from De La Cruz, a fastball strike on the outside corner. No batting gloves for the vet. Vitters the vet.
Hey, that almost rhymes.
Pitch to him is high and wide. Vitters a 9th-year pro. I'm back in the game for the first time in 2 years when he was at AAA with the Cubs. Swings here, foul tip, in and out of Paniagua's glove, and Panny's got the new catcher's gear on again tonight. Looking sharp. I've seen nothing but rave reviews on the new apparel.
Paul Lucas's Uni-Watch on ESPN even picked it up.
Yeah. There's the 1-2. Ooh, look out. Fastball in by Vitters' knees.
But of course, who's the one team that they showcase whenever they talk about the Atlantic League?
My guess is Long Island.
The other one.
Sugarland.
Yep.
I heard Panny was on ESPN.com, though. The 2-2, and a check swing on a ball in the dirt, appeal to first, and he held. I better be careful or we'll lose web hits to our direct competitor there. WOYK1350.com is going to be right there with him one day.
Don't you know it?
Payoff pitch, swinging a dribbler foul, third base side. De La Cruz, a 3-2 slider there. Vitters hit 11 home runs in the PCL 2 years ago. Former third overall pick of the Cubs in 2007. Another 3-2. Rips it off the mound and up the middle, and we have our first base runner of the night. Hit it sharply off the dirt of the mound and skipping up into center field. A 2-out base runner for Carlos Sosa, a former Road Warrior who played in the Atlantic League All-Star Game here in 2011 with the Road Warriors, and also had played with Sugarland the following year briefly. Lefty against lefty with Bridgeport in 5 games. He's 4 for 13. The pitch from De La Cruz, a called strike over the outside corner.
Oh, yeah, here he is. It was in the middle of the article.
Paniagua?
Yeah.
So you're just a headline looker? You don't have time to read the whole thing.
I'm a millennial. What can I say, man? Some stereotypes are true.
It's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Good slider from De La Cruz.
No, maybe it was the ad block that... whatever. It's showing up now.
I'm good with blaming it on the ad block. Paniagua did some modeling between games at Somerset last week. Pitch, he drops down, and Sosa just got a piece as he flicks that slider straight behind the plate. Oh boy.
Do I look like I'm trying to hide? Fuzzy purple hat guy?
It's T-Bone trying to hawk some 50-50 tickets. De La Cruz again, sidearms. Oh, he's walking off the mound. Didn't get the call. Called a little high on the fastball. And it's 1-2. Sosa was signed by the Padres from the Road Warriors back in 2011. Double-A San Antonio. 1-2, overhand, and a slider down and away misses. De La Cruz coming in overall, 1-1 at .257 ERA and 2 appearances, 1 start. Overall, 7 innings, 2 runs, 7 hits, 3 walks, and 10 Ks coming in tonight. The 2-2, swinging a bouncing ball, second base. Pounds has it, shifting slightly left. He'll throw on to first, and the inning's over. A 2-out single given up, that's it. We go to the bottom of the second inning. Revs and Bluefish scoreless.
The more we help the ones in need, the more progress our community will make.
By focusing on quality education, income opportunities, and basic health care,
all of York County can have access to the building blocks of a good quality of life.
Together we can load the bases for our community.
And hit a home run.
Give generously to the 2016 United Way Community Fund.
Find out more and give now at unitedway-york.org.
Money and business are essential to the strength of a community. So is cheering and celebration and music and fun. That's why York Revolution games, concerts, youth sports, special events, and more happen at a place called PeoplesBank Park. PeoplesBank has been serving York County for more than 150 years. Always cheering, always celebrating, always committed to the things that make York County great. And to you having a great time at PeoplesBank Park. People's Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Need some fun with your food? Where else but Friendly's? Stop by Friendly's at 423 Laux Road in York for great deals like 50% off breakfast Monday to Friday from 7 to 11 a.m. or one of our 5 lunch and dinner meals for $5.55, including the quarter-pound cheeseburger. Stop by after the game with your Revs game ticket and save 15%. Friendly's has got you covered with great deals all day long. Friendly's, life with extra sprinkles.
Your teams all the time. York's only place for local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Scoreless game as we go to the bottom of the second. The lights partially on here at the outset this evening. Talvin Nash will dig in to lead things off for York. 1-2-3 first inning on 3 groundouts for Mike Antonini, and those were quick. Nash, the DH, leading things off, hitting just 150. First pitch is ripped to left field, a leadoff hit. This will two-hop the base of the arch nemesis. Sosa fires in, and Nash hit it so hard he knew it was just a single off the bat. But he's hit better here at home. He's now 5 for 18 here at home and jumps on the first one for a leadoff single.
Yeah, Darryl, he came in hitting just 150 on the season. He's looking to get off the interstate, and if he keeps hitting balls like that, he's going to find his exit.
Well, a little bit higher. He certainly hit it hard enough to be a mammoth shot, but he really leveled it off, a low line drive. Here's Joel Guzman, and Antonini kicks and delivers and misses a shade high. Guzman up to 302 now, and in that home opening series against Sugar Land, 8 for 16 with a home run and 5 of his 6 total runs batted in. Here's the stretch from Antonini. And the 1-0, that's high and away. On our Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care home run contest this evening, Tiffany McCall is our lucky contestant. Good luck, Tiffany. If the Revs player goes yard, we've got a prize pack with your name on it. I have some goodies in the studio. On the stretch. And a move to first, back standing is Nash.
And he's trying to keep him honest over there, but I think you take one glance at Talvin and you think, yeah, he's probably not going to steal. He's only stolen 7 bases in his professional career.
Well, has his lead. The stretch from Antonini. And the 2-0. Swung on, line to left center for a base hit. Nash up to second. The center fielder Ramirez cuts it off. Back-to-back hard hit singles. Joel Guzman with another knock. Now 9 for 17 at home. And you wonder, Will, if Antonini was paying too much attention to Nash for not really any good reason.
Well, now he's got 2 large lumbering men on the base here, and he's going to have to buckle down and face Brian Pounds, who has also been squaring up and hitting the ball well at home. Stretch over the weekend where he had back-to-back games with RBI doubles.
4 of his 8 hits have gone for 2 bases. And the corners creep in. First pitch, it took a big rip and foul tips it straight back. Third baseman Vitter is about even with the grass. First baseman Dan Johnson in front of Guzman, so he's even a little further in. And now Perez, the catcher, wanting to have a word with Antonini after that first offering. And I think he got away with one. That ball was up. Pounds just missed it and fouled it off. Comes in hitting only 195, but that can only mean he's due to go up. No score here in the bottom of the second inning. Revs have their first 2 men on singles. And Antonini sets and deals. And a swing and a pop-up. Catcher Perez off with the mask, coming back toward the backstop and makes the play with the Bluefish catcher's gear. It's a fish in a marine setting on his chest protector. And there's one away. We'll bring up James Simmons. We'll pause for station identification on Revolution Radio.
First in York, first in sports. Your only local sports station. The new Sports Radio 1350, WOYK, York, Pennsylvania.
At 2 on with 1 out here in the bottom of the second, no score. And another former Bluefish, James Simmons, digs in. Now York property, hitting a 286 in the early going as Antonini steps off. Antonini was signed by the Angels last season from Bridgeport. And his first pitch is down and away. Simmons 286 with a homer. 313 thus far here at home. That's what he hit through the weekend against Sugarland. Hitting a little above 300 off lefties as well. Stretch. And the 1-0. Swing and a tapper hit softly to third. Vitters charging. Backhands and he fumbles it. Simmons is safe. Bases will be loaded with 1 out. It'll be an infield hit for James Simmons. And even with Vitters, had he fielded cleanly with Simmons' speed, I don't think he had any chance. He went to the backhand to try to be quicker with it and get some momentum into a throw, but trying to move quicker than his hands could, it slipped right out on the transfer. Loaded for Paniagua, who, with the bases loaded last September against Bridgeport, hit a walk-off slam in the 9th inning of a 10-6 win.
He's looking for deja vu all over again.
First pitch, fastball, strike called on the outer edge.
Well, Sally's still looking for his first home run of the season. First one that clears the fence. Is going to break a tie for 6th in club history in home runs.
He's tied with Eric Patterson with 38. There's the stretch from Antonini. And the 0-1 swung on, hit high in the air in right. They'll tag Nash from third. Nunez coming in, shallow and right, makes the catch, and Nash will only fake it. And a 2-hop throw took Perez a couple of steps up the third base line to get in front, but too shallow for Nash to try it, and they don't want to take the bat out of really any hitter's hands in this lineup. They'll give Michael Rocket a chance here with 2 outs.
The wind took that one much shallower than it looked like it was going to be, Darryl. The breeze has been picking up in this inning from right center field, just a shade right of center field. We had thunderstorms in the forecast later tonight, and it looks like we're going to get this one in under the gun, but gray clouds are starting to pop up.
Here's Rocket. First pitch is ripped toward the middle of the base, hit into left center. Nash scores. He's waving Guzman behind him. The throw from Ramirez is late. 2-0 York. Michael Rocket jumps on the first pitch and drills it up the middle pass short and into left center.
He's going to have 2 RBIs on that. He might want to give one to Kurt Baranin over at third base. The umpire setting a screen. Luis Hernandez at short might have had a true look at that ball, but the big man in black had to leap out of the way like he was auditioning for the chorus line. Setting the screen, and Michael Rocket will take it any way he gets. I hope I get it. I hope I get it. Yes, I did. A 2-run single.
Big base hit. Here's Tejeda. And Antonini a strike on the outer edge. Rocket, first pitch. Jumped on it. And that's exactly why Nash was patient at third. And back to Paniagua's fly. You're right. I thought he hit it deeper than where it ended up, but the Revs cash in a hitter later. Tejeda grounded to short his first time up. They have struck first tonight, 2-0 here in the bottom of the second. Now Antonini ready. Holds, stares back, delivers, and a swing and a tapper off the end of the bat to short. Hernandez will flip this one, feeding Rodriguez at second for the inning-ending force. But the Revs jump out with the first 2 of the night on 4 hits. 2 runners left on. We head to the third. It's York 2, Bridgeport 0.
An invasive pest that's already killed millions of ash trees is bearing down on our communities. The emerald ash borer, or EAB, means certain death for every ash tree it infects. The good news is that you can protect your property's ash trees with help from Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care. Our EAB prevention methods are effective, environmentally safe, and less costly than removing your dead tree, which is the only alternative to prevention. Learn more at heritagelawnandlandscape.com.
Wednesdays are the worst. I've got to get the kids to school on time to get to work, then it's just one long day of meetings. But hey, at least I don't have to worry about making dinner.
Kids eat free with People's Bank. Save money at every Wednesday home game.
So now when the Revs are in town, I just pull into a People's Bank, pick up that week's coupon, and dinner is done. Revolution Wednesdays? Awesome. Revolution!
Thanks to People's Bank, kids eat free at every Wednesday home game. No need to be a People's Bank customer. Just pick up your coupon at any People's Bank branch and do dinner at PeoplesBank Park. One coupon per child per game.
Listen up, people. This is the Rich Eisen Show.
He's a professional. And I did tweet out on 4th and 19, go blue. Irvin took a picture of me in the NFL Game Day morning meeting room celebrating, and I stupidly looked at his phone and did it. And he tweets it out what Rich Eisen was like when he thought You Miss Football won. I can't show you what it was like when they did not win. Do friends do that to friends? No.
The Rich Eisen Show.
Weekdays at noon on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. York Sports on your mobile device or online at WOYK1350.com.
Two 2-0. Revs jump in front on Michael Rocket's base hit with 2 outs in the second inning. Rosmel Perez will lead things off for Bridgeport, their catcher tonight. Be a lefty-lefty matchup to start the inning with 8, 9, and 1 due to bat. Perez 3 for 14 at the plate, but he's got 4 RBIs already in 4 games played. And a late insertion into their lineup. Pitch from De La Cruz is inside for ball 1. Working with a 2-0 lead, already more runs than he had in his last start. Deals, and a fastball, pumps it in for a strike. De La Cruz, after what he did with Somerset last year, he fires, and a ground ball, second base, pounds to his left. He'll reach down and glove it, throws on to first, 1 away. After what he did last year when they signed him this offseason, I assumed, oh, good lefty reliever. But for much of his career, he did start, and that's where he is early this season, and they like him in that role. I think when they signed him, they were expecting reliever also until they saw in camp what he was able to do. Here's Luis Nunez rounding out their order. First pitch is right there for a strike.
All right, you are, Darryl. They were thinking reliever pretty much since 2013. He's been a reliever with the exception of when he was with Quintana Roo in the Mexican League.
There's a called strike on the outside corner, 0-2.
Made 10 starts there, but every other stop since 2013 he's been primarily a reliever. Hasn't been a full-time starter since with Erie in 2012.
Here's a ball golfed to deep left. It's got a chance. It's off the newspaper. Play by Tejeda. He'll hold him to a single. Fires it in on one hop to second. And Isaias, with his first chance to play the big wall in left, handles it perfectly. It almost hit the baseball that's on the image as the headline on the newspaper ad. If you haven't seen it, it looks like an enormous newspaper on the arch nemesis. It says Revs win with a ball and a glove, and that's just about where Nunez hit it. And he's now 4 for 6 with Bridgeport in just 2 games played. Here is Luis Hernandez at the top of their order, and he swings, chops one, just out of the reach of Guzman at third. Nunez up to second, he'll stop there. It's a base hit for Hernandez, and Guzman just couldn't quite reach it. A high hopper, if he's able to reach it, could be an inning-ending double play.
Yeah, it was a little stutter step. He skidded his wheels as he was trying to get going on that one. If he breaks true, he's probably got that, and we're probably going into a commercial break after a double play.
We could anyway, but that'd be frowned upon since the inning's still going. Here's Wilkin Ramirez. And first pitch is down and away for ball one.
Not like the early days of televised soccer in America when they would break in the middle of the action.
No. We'll stay with it. It's the 1-0. And a swing and a miss. Good cutter in on Ramirez's hands. Struck out looking in the first. And the Bluefish with 2 on and 1 out, trying to answer York's 2 second inning runs. Daly Cruz, the 6'5 lefty, set at the belt. The 1-1 and a fastball strike outside corner at 88. Calvin, born in the Dominican Republic, he lives near New York City now, though. And I don't know about you, Will, but I had not heard of his town until he told us it's West New York, New Jersey, and it's right where you would think it would be. He fires, and it misses down low, 2-2.
East Connecticut, right?
No, Texas.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that. Strangely enough, in the Atlantic League, that makes sense.
That would make sense. Of all of those northern Jersey mini cities right near the big city, that's one that I had not heard of until he told us. There's the stretch and the 2-2. Swung on, ripped up the middle, a base hit. Nunez to third. Luis Rodriguez will send him. Simmons up, throwing. It rolls to the plate, right into Nunez. He slid it into the ball. It rolled away from Paniagua. And the run home, it's 2-1.
Cutoff man lunging for that one, and he couldn't get to it. That one took about 4 hops and then a little roller to get to Paniagua. Not the best throw from center field from Simmons. But he'll get another crack at it.
Pretty accurate until Nunez got in the way. Here's Dan Johnson who takes a strike. But Rodriguez sending him all the way. And Nunez beat it and helped kick it aside in doing so. Now a 2-1 game. Dan Johnson, who fouled out to third his first time up, awaits, and De La Cruz misses in the dirt and outside. 3 straight base hits. Ramirez sort of hit it off the end of the bat, but able to punch it through the middle. The pitchers hate giving up runs right after the offense scored. And the 1-1, he drops down, and the swing and a liner to right. Rocket tiptoes toward the alley. He's there. Makes the catch and fires a strike into shortstop for Wilson. Runners stay put. 2 down. Now the cleanup man, Jose Cuevas, coming up. Cuevas grounded out to short his first time. Bluefish off to a decent start offensively, and Cuevas, the man in the middle, 5th in the league in RBIs, coming in tonight with 8. First pitch, fastball. It's a called strike. Outside corner, a little up, and that drew a look back from him. League leader, there's 4 tied with 10 RBIs. Cuevas has 8. On the stretch, the 0-1, and a changeup down low. De La Cruz is a 3 to 4 pitch guy, which affords him the chance to be a starter. Fastball, cutter, slash slider. He'll show the changeup. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. There's the slider. He buried it low and jumps ahead. Ball and 2 strikes on Cuevas. It was in the Can-Am League last year in Quebec, and Luis Rodriguez traded for his rights. There's the stretch. The 1-2, lead runner goes, and a swing and a little nubber in front of the mound. De La Cruz fields, he turns and fires a strike to first, and that'll end the inning. A little swinging bunt, testing De La Cruz off the front of the mound. 1 run on 3 hits, and 2 men left on base. We'll go to the bottom half of the third. It's the Revs 2 and the Bluefish 1.
Smith, Mayer & Little is a holistic wealth management group with one product, advice. We aim to simplify our clients' lives, help them retire comfortably, and build lasting legacies for their families and the causes they care about. Our purpose is simple, to make a meaningful difference in the lives of our clients, our community, and the world in which we live with the advice we provide. Smith, Mayer & Little, a wealth of knowledge about wealth. We make our living by making a difference. Visit us at financialjava.com.
Janney Montgomery Scott LLC, member NYSE, FINRA, and SIPC.
Let's welcome back Gus, the second most famous groundhog in Pennsylvania.
Thanks, Glenn.
How was your birthday?
Great. We went to a Mexican restaurant. I played the maracas. It was a real blowout.
Speaking of which, tell us about the new blowout instant games from the Pennsylvania Lottery.
You can win $225 million in cash prizes.
Sounds like my kind of party. Thanks again, Gus.
Keep on scratching.
The Pennsylvania Lottery. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Eric Hosmer's got nothing on this. Mad Dash Grilled Cheese is comfort food at its finest. Mad Dash is Central PA's favorite artisan grilled cheese truck, bringing you creative concoctions with the freshest and most flavorful ingredients. Available for food truck festivals, weddings, corporate, and private caterings. Find Mad Dash this year along the third base line at PeoplesBank Park for all York Revolution home games. Call 717-574-5168 or visit online at mad-grilledcheese.com. Mad Dash Artisan Grilled Cheese. Welcome home.
First in York, first in sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Two to 1, the Revs lead it. Bridgeport answers with a run to cut the early lead in half. Go to the bottom of the third, Josh Wilson to lead things off. Grounded out to third base, his first at bat tonight. Our WellSpan Sports Medicine injury report, the guy that Will wanted to see most from Bridgeport, Andy Chavez, is on the DL. Revs are healthy, knock on wood. Pitch to Wilson is in for a strike. It's your WellSpan Sports Medicine injury report. Now, just why is that you wanted to...
I'll play after this pitch.
As Wilson swings and scrapes one along the line at first, and it zigzags in the grass. He turns and runs back to the plate. And Antonini then will have to underhand to first. He was going to tag him. Wilson ran away. A little squibber along the line at first, one down.
So how do you score that? Is that just a U1 because he gave up the ghost, or would you put that down as a 1-3?
Well, he never left the baseline, so I'd say the put out actually happened at first, but that did make me laugh. That was an entertaining ground ball to the pitcher.
Yeah, it was. That's one of those cases where running away from your problems actually kind of works.
Here's Andres Perez. He swings and launches a high pop-up at first. Dan Johnson into foul territory and puts it away for out number 2. All right, your Andy Chavez fandom.
Yes, well, as the only New York Met fan to grow up in Indiana, 2006, of course. One of the great catches in baseball history, the snow cone in Game 7 of the NLCS. Andy Chavez going over there, getting it about as out of the glove as you can possibly make a catch.
Here's Talbot Nash. He drives one high and deep in right center field. It's going to be caught, though, just missed as Nunez surrounds it in deep right center, just shy of the track. That thing really carried with the wind coming in from that direction tonight. This goes to show you Nash's manpower. A 1-2-3 inning. Will DeBoer will have the play-by-play as we head to the fourth. Revs lead it 2-1.
Come and celebrate 10 years of York Revolution baseball with the Celebrate York Series presented by Memorial Hospital. The series honors significant contributions from York, Pennsylvania's most notable events and favorite citizens with giveaways every Friday night home game. The series continues on Friday, May 13th with a Marquis de Lafayette bobblehead giveaway. Visit YorkRevolution.com for more details. It's the Celebrate York Series, proudly presented by Memorial Hospital for the York Revolution's 10th anniversary season.
Come on, Colin Cowherd.
Is an actor bad if he has a bad movie? Remember the movie Tom Hanks had with Julia Roberts about 4 years ago? Was he suddenly a bad actor? Nah, he got a shaky script. But I just watched Bridge of Spies this weekend with Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks is back. Why? Because he had Steven Spielberg directing. Right now, Andrew Luck doesn't have a very good script to work with.
This is The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Weekdays at 3 on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Individual game tickets are now on sale for the 2016 York Revolution season. Be there as the Revs celebrate their 10th anniversary season with the biggest promotional schedule in team history. 20 giveaways, including 8 bobbleheads, inside the park fireworks shows every Saturday, and a host of incredible entertainment acts like Cowboy Monkey Rodeo, Superstars, the Philly Fanatic, and an appearance by former NASCAR driver Ernie Irvan. Buy online at YorkRevolution.com, over the phone at 801-HITS, or in person at the Apple Chevrolet ticket office.
Your county, your teams. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports.
First pitch from Kelvin De La Cruz is just inside for ball one. You're underway with the top of the fourth inning from PeoplesBank Park. Revs leading Bridgeport 2-1 on a Monday night. Next pitch, just missing inside once again. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Luis De La Cruz, 3 innings so far. He's given up 1 run on 4 hits. The Revs have gotten 2 runs on 4 hits. And there's a strike on the outside corner at 86 miles an hour. 2-1. Coming up on 7:30 here in Central PA. The sky is starting to darken at a rate much quicker than you would expect. And there's a little nubber off the end of the bat. Short hops out of the mitt of Pounds. And they're going to call this an error against Brian Pounds. Weak little line drive, a sort of a puh sound off of the bat. And Pounds not expecting the short hop. Sees it bounce out of the glove. First error of the game for the Revolution. And it puts the leadoff man on for the first time in this ball game. So De La Cruz will now have to face Josh Vitters, and he misses inside, ball one. There's gray clouds rolling in from over our left shoulder, the wind blowing the opposite direction. We've got showers scheduled to begin tonight around 10 or 11 o'clock or so, with heavy rain coming in at midnight. Low and in on a slider. It's 2-0. Second straight 2-ball count for De La Cruz. Vitters singled his first time up. It was the first hit of the ball game back in the second inning. Short lead for Rodriguez. 2-0 pitch, cue ball off the end of the bat and foul down the first base line. Count goes to 2-1. We'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by York Mitsubishi. Bottom of the third inning, they're scoreless in New Britain. The Bees hosting the Sugarland Skeeters, who are making their latest swing through the Northeast. Technically, that's every road trip for them. 2-1 pitches, bounce over to short on 3 hops, taken by Wilson. The flip over to second for 1. Pounds goes to first for the double play. 6-4-3. The pitcher's best friend making its first visit for Luis De La Cruz tonight. And just like that, 2 down, nobody on. Check that. They just went top of the fourth in New Britain, and the Skeeters have gone up 2-0. The lefty Carlos Sosa up next. Sosa bounced out to second his first time up. And there's a bouncing ball. 59.5-foot slider for ball one. With the clouds and the wind, the temperature starting to chill a bit. 73 officially on the stadium thermometer. A bit chillier than that in real life, though, as Sosa fouls this one over the heads of the luxury suites down the third base line. The count goes to 1-1. York 2, Bridgeport 1, top of the fourth inning on a Monday night from PeoplesBank. 1-1 is tapped fair down the first base line. It just stays fair, and Perez takes it, steps on the bag, and Sosa, who didn't even leave the batter's box, will walk dejectedly back to dugout. Hang your head, son. You're supposed to hustle on that. And so, an error by Pounds does not cost De La Cruz for the Bluefish. No runs on, no hits, one error, none left on. Middle of the fourth, your score, York 2, Bridgeport 1 on Revs Radio, WOYK.
You hear a lot about CPAP masks these days, but here's something you don't hear much about. Over half of the people who wear a CPAP mask for sleep stop wearing it within a year. How's that working for you? Dr. Gordon Bell would like you to hear this. York Dental Sleep Therapy has dental options that can help many of those people. If you or someone you live with is struggling with sleep apnea, visit yorksleep.com and see how Dr. Gordon Bell can help return your home to peaceful nights of deep, restful sleep. If you're groggy during the workday, if you wake up feeling exhausted, if you would like to get your nighttime sleep patterns back to a healthy state, get a confirmation from your doctor, then meet with Dr. Bell at his office on West Market Street in Hallam. He'll evaluate your symptoms and discuss which treatments would best suit your situation. Dr. Bell can restore restful sleep and get you feeling better day and night. York Dental Sleep Therapy. Call 316-1299 or visit yorksleep.com to learn more.
Pain doesn't take Sunday off. Neither do we. We're open weekdays 8 to 8 and weekends 9 to 6. Just walk into WellSpan Urgent Orthopedics, 2319 South George Street in York, across from the Apple Hill Health Campus. Visit wellspan.org/urgent orthopedics today.
Follow York Sports on your Android. Search Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
We head to the last of the fourth inning. Will DeBoer with you on WOYK. Revs leading the Bluefish 2-1. As Mike Antonini finishes his warm-up tosses, a little bit slower for Antonini on the hill, and that's the only thing he's done slow. Just 24 pitches through the first 3 innings, including a 4-pitch third. Joel Guzman will come up and try and see more than 4 pitches against Antonini. He'll be followed by Pounds and Simmons in the order as the Revs try to extend this 1-run lead. Antonini into the windup. Here comes the first pitch. Fastball on the outside corner, a called strike 1. Revs in their home white uniforms, very traditional. Blue Revolution script with yellow outlining. And Guzman whacks one to deep left field. Sosa turns to watch it go. Goodbye, Joel Guzman. A very delayed reaction from this crowd as they didn't know whether it was gone or not. Sosa so unemotional that no one could read him at all. Guzman doesn't have to read him though. He's just got to trot around the bases. It's 3-1 York. And that's why you never write things down when you know Charlie's about to fire things off. A solo shot for Joel. He's really been Superman at home. This is his second home run of the season. Once again over the arch nemesis. Brian Pounds watches a breaking ball miss outside for ball 1. Pounds fouled out to the catcher. He committed an error to lead off the top of this inning, but was the middle man on a double play ball to get De La Cruz out of the frame. Antonini missing outside again. It's 2 balls and no strikes. For Guzman, that his 169th professional home run and his second with the Revolution, as Antonini paints the black with a fastball for strike 1. Brian Pounds from Houston, Texas, Atlantic League veteran, his 3rd season in the circuit, and he watches a fastball miss outside again at 3-1. And the infield steps in, taps the plate a couple of times. Big open stance for him, legs barely bent at all. Antonini's 3-1, missing low, ball 4. So Michael can't shake off the home run. and he walks Brian Pounds, the first 2 men aboard for the Revolution to lead off the 4th inning. Big inning potential for the Revolution. James Simmons will try and keep the carousel a-rolling. Simmons, an infield single his first time up. He got all the way to second base before being stranded there. Antonini from the stretch, swung on and missed for strike 1 on a slider. The Bluefish wearing their teal road alternate jerseys, navy blue caps with the teal brims, and on those jerseys in the front it just says fish. That could mean anything. It could mean they are fans of going to fish. It could mean that they are fish themselves. They could be honoring Fish Mooney, the character from that new Gotham series on Fox. Just fish. If I was a 7-year-old, I would love to have that jersey. Antonini with a toss over to first base to hold Pounds aboard. Brian, 19 professional stolen bases. He stole 6 with the Revolution last year, and the Revs 2 for 10 trying to swipe bags this year. Nowhere to go but up. Right? Antonini, the stretch, and a quick 0-1 pitch just below the knees. The count goes even at 1-1. Revs leading 3-1 as we're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Moments ago, Joel Guzman with a towering and a cruising solo home run over the arch nemesis. Short lead for Pounds. Antonini giving him the stare down. 1-1. There's a rocket off the end of the bat into right center field for a base hit. Pounds soaring around the bag. He'll go first to third. Simmons trying for second. The throw coming in from center. He's out. Ramirez throwing James Simmons out, trying to stretch a single into a double. That's the first out of the inning, and the Revs make it on the base paths. Not what you want to see, but he does manage to get Pounds over to third base. So now all Sally Peniagua's got to do is lift one deeper into the outfielder than he did last time, and the Revs are going to have themselves another run. Peniagua, fly ball to medium shallow right field his first time up, couldn't get the runner home. Slow breaking ball, just catches corner for strike 1. Revs putting Antonini through the ringer, at least comparatively in this inning. 0-1 low and inside on a fastball. That was his 37th pitch overall and his 13th of the inning. Surprisingly enough, that is the longest inning that Antonini has had the entire game. 8, 12, and 4 pitches in the first 3. Infield slightly in for the Bluefish. Antonini the 1-1. Foul off the end of the bat over to the first base side, and it's 1-2. Paniagua steps back in again. Wind blowing in his face. It's periodic here, strong and the not so strong. 1-2 pitch, left him upstairs, and it's 2-2. Paniagua, the native of San Juan, Puerto Rico, current resident of York, Pennsylvania. He gives lessons to aspiring ball players to make ends meet in the offseason. 2-2 pitch. And there's a fly ball chasing towards the line in right field. Nunez coming on. He makes the catch. Pounds tagging. He's heading home. Nunez, the thrower to the plate, is not in time. It's a slide, and he's safe. Brian Pounds comes home. That time, Paniagua gets the job done. It's a sacrifice fly for Salvador, and it's 4-1 York. And here comes the Rocket Man. Michael, a 2-run single to break the ice in the second inning. Revs have seen that lead decrease and now increase back again to 4-1. First pitch, missed inside, chasing Rocket off the plate. It's 1-0. Revs now with 4 runs on 6 hits and 1 error. Bridgeport 1 run, 4 hits, no errors. The 1-0 offering. Low for ball 2. Michael Rocket. Knees bent more than average. Big open stance. 2-0. Tapped off the end of the bat towards the Bridgeport on-deck circle, which is vacant for the moment. It'll be taken by a Rev bat boy and brought back into the dugout, where it can go and roost with the other foul balls. Make some friends before they all end up on Arch Street. Antonini is ready. Gets a sign from Perez. The 2-1 pitch. A line drive opposite field towards right. Chasing Nunez 10 steps to his left. He makes a running catch. Side retired. But the Revs with some insurance, the big blast by Joel Guzman, and the sac fly by Salvador Peniagua. For the Revs, 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, none left on. End of the 4th, your score, York 4, Bridgeport 1. This is Revs Radio, WOYK.
Providing quality services efficiently and in a timely manner to its clients is the mission of the law firm of Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Salamis & Calkins. GSLSC is equipped to handle any real estate transactions, leases, residential and commercial real estate settlements, zoning issues, and all matters involving municipalities. They are also experienced in the formation and operation of family real estate ventures that are tax sensitive to the needs of the investors. Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Salamis & Calkins is an approved title insurance agency and can provide you with title insurance and legal representation at one low cost when buying a home or investment property. Don't risk any real estate settlement without an experienced real estate attorney from the law firm of Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Salamis & Calkins at your side. Phone 717-757-7602. They've been handling residential and commercial real estate matters in South Central Pennsylvania for more than 50 years. With mortgage interest rates at an all-time low, now is the time to buy or refinance. Phone 717-757-7602 today or visit their website, gslsc.com.
Get into the ball game with great savings and great weekly specials at your Sure Save neighborhood markets. Use your gold card every time you shop and you automatically receive savings and rewards. And get incredible deals on the new Best Yet brand products at Sobel's Markets, Wetzel's Market, and also at Nell's Market Fresh Foods. Always a hit and always great savings.
There's only one place for local high school sports. Sports Radio 1350.
Top of the 5th from PeoplesBank Park. Revs nursing a 4-1 lead. They put runs on the board 2 at a time in the 2nd and the 4th. And Luis De La Cruz, Kelvin De La Cruz rather, with a first pitch strike to Rosmel Perez, 0-1. And Kelvin into the windup. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Low and inside for ball 1.
Well, we almost had 2 De La Cruz and 2 Simmons.
Well, we still got the 2 Simmons.
Well, yeah, you're right. Good point.
1-1 pitch off the end of the bat, a slow chopper to second base. Pounds has it, this time without incident, and a strike throw over to first base in time for the out. Now it's Luis Nunez, the newest addition to the Bridgeport Bats. Nunez, about 2/3 of the way up, the arch nemesis had himself a single and a run back in the 3rd inning. Hardest hit contact that De La Cruz has given up so far today. That's a first pitch letter high strike, 0-1. Monday night crowd, plenty of elbow room for everybody here at the vault. De La Cruz misses outside for ball 1, but those who are here have seen majestic home runs. They've seen double plays turn. They've seen 2 cannonball blasts and heard them as Nunez has to do the happy feet dance to avoid that slider near his toes. That's 2-1. So to show you, you can see everything and more at a baseball game. No two are alike. 2-1 pitch, left it outside, 3 balls and 1 strike.
Saw 2 staff members beat each other up in those giant inflatable balls.
Jackson, you let me down. I had you winning, buddy. 3-1 pitch, and there's a rip down the left field line. It'll fall and take 3 or 4 hops to the corner, and the nemesis rounding first, cruising into second with a 1-out double is Luis Nunez. He is 2 for 2 today with both of the hardest hit balls of the night.
They're going to move him out of the number 9 spot pretty soon at this rate. Well, I would like to see the Revs get these final 2 outs of the 5th inning, because I noticed the front office staff is gathering in Section 2 should TARP be called for soon.
No, that's right. We are 2 outs away from making this an official ball game. There's little peaks of clear skies up ahead of us, but most of it is relatively gray. Luis Hernandez, the switch hitter, takes low and in for ball 1.
On the station tonight, should there be a rain delay, and regardless, following our game, we will have game 3, I should say, of the Caps and Penguins series.
How's that series shaping up?
1-1.
Well, that's not what this count is going to be. That one misses outside for 2-0.
Great segue, Will.
Thank you. It would have been better if Kelvin would do his job. Hernandez, it's his 3rd time facing De La Cruz. He's 1 for 2 today. A pop out to the first baseman and a single back in the 3rd. 2-0 pitch, rips at 1, fouls it straight over our heads and off of the facing of the luxury suites. And the young fans, young at heart, who are enjoying their lovely dinners up there, are going to find themselves a surprise in their potato salad. Boy, honey, this lump of potato is a lot harder than I thought it would be. And it's got streaks of red. I didn't know this was redskin potato. 2-1 pitch. Jammed in, and there's a shallow fly ball on the right coming on for his rocket. He's got it. Launches into first base, and it 1 hops and hits Nunez in the back.
Oh, sorry, Will.
So Luis, who's just doing a job standing on second base, is going to have a bit of soreness in the morning.
Remember the kid's story about, like, a rock in soup?
Stone Soup.
Really? That's the title of it?
Yeah.
And I remember it from, like, kindergarten.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. And, like, baseball and potato salad. Yummy.
Nice callback.
Yeah.
Wilkin Ramirez has the only RBI today for Bridgeport. He takes inside for ball 1. It is 4-1 Revolution in the lead.
I'm a man of culture, Will.
That you are. And yet you've never seen Game of Thrones. 1-0. A number off the end of the bat. Hard charging pounds from second base. He's got it. A quick flip over to first base. In time. Side retired. Ryan Pounds more for making up in his inning back in the 3rd. The 4th, rather. He made a couple of putouts that time, including a nice one to retire Ramirez. For the Bluefish, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. It's an official ball game here at PeoplesBank Park. Middle of the 5th. Revs up 4-1 here on Revs Radio, WOYK.
And here we go, folks. She steps up to the box. This is a real pressure situation. 2 kids tugging at her blouse, a long line of customers, and only 30 minutes to get in, get a dozen maple donuts, and get to the party.
Oh boy, look at the time.
One of Charlie Donuts All-Stars winds up, and here's the pitch.
Welcome to Maple Donuts. Can I help you?
Yes. No. I'm sorry. I'm not quite ready.
Oh, she steps out. The pressure may be too much, folks. No, wait. What's this? A meeting at the plate?
Okay, Mommy needs to order our maple donuts now. Can you two be good, please?
And she steps back up to the box.
All ready now?
I am.
She's swinging for the fences.
I'll have 4 glazed, 3 vanilla sprinkles, 3 chocolate icing, 2 jelly filled, and 1 chocolate peanut covered.
Wow, that was Major League. She read every stitch of that fastball and knocked it clean out of the park.
Enjoy your maple donuts.
Oh, we will. Okay, kids, let's go. Let's get these maple donuts to the party.
There you have it, folks. Maple Donuts, 58 varieties. Ready whenever you need to step up to the plate.
Maple Donuts taste right.
Well, I finally did it. I took my dad's advice and joined his credit union.
Which one?
PSECU. I'm eligible because my dad's a member, but I joined through work.
Really? I thought you had to work for the state.
A lot of people think that, but there are lots of ways to be eligible.
I'm not really thrilled with my bank and all their fees. I need to check them out.
Definitely. It's worth the switch.
PSCCU is the credit union for you. Find your way at psccu.com/join. This credit union is federally insured by the National Credit Union Administration, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Hi, this is Dan Patrick. Join me weekday mornings at 9 on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Back at PeoplesBank Park, speak of the devil and he shall appear, this time in the form of rain with some thunder. So we just got it in under the gun, Darrell. It became an official ball game, and out comes the tarp. It is over the infield now at PeoplesBank Park. We are delayed here in the middle of the fifth inning with York leading Bridgeport 4-1, although it is an official ball game. So should this thing be called, Guzman's home run shall count. De La Cruz will get the win. He'll give himself a complete game as well.
Yeah, he would. Well, we've had, and that was, the timing could not have been any better. I mean, literally 10 seconds after the third out, the skies opened. And I don't know if, I mean, it looks like there's some clearing off to the west, so I would think that we'll resume at some point. But at any rate, better safe than sorry. Get the game official, and literally perfect timing. And we've had some of those over the years. I remember a game in 2012 where the Revs had a big eighth inning home run. Bobby Kilty hit it, actually, and R.J. Rodriguez got the final 3 outs of that nail biter at home against Southern Maryland June of that year, with just the blackest skies off to the west, and it was horrendous and torrential within minutes after the final out. Even the third game of the year, I think it was, second game maybe, up in New Britain this season, we got it in just before a torrential downpour started. And back in 2007, I think it was our first ever walk-off win. It was when the team was playing in Camden at the time, before the stadium was ready. And that final run, it was an 11-inning game against the Road Warriors. It scored literally seconds before an absolute deluge and severe storm rolled in. So we've had some close calls in the past as far as timing. Final out of this game being official to rain starting and tarp being called for. It was just about instantaneous, and the timing could not have been better. If we resume play, the Revs will still have work to do, but at this point, you like where they're sitting a lot better than where Bridgeport is in this game.
Absolutely do. And you talk about perfect timing. It wasn't just the rain started right after that third out. The grounds crew and the staff here at PeoplesBank Park got that thing on, and then the skies really opened up. So it was like a little bit of a tease, and then it all started flooding, and it was, so they got on before the deluge.
Well,
nice word, by the way. There,
yeah, one of my favorites. Now the staff here is excellent. They're always prepared, and Joe Morgan, in his first week, literally, with home games here, he's been outstanding as the new head groundskeeper. But they actually practice it during the weeks leading up to the season. They have a couple of practice runs and make sure everybody's on the same page, and they have it down to a science. Now, a few years back, there was a game in 2011, I believe it was, maybe 12, where the umpires tried to get as much out of the pre-rain as they could, and unfortunately, when the tarp was finally called for, the infield was so wet and muddy that the tarp got stuck, and there was no sum of human strength that would have been great enough to fully tarp the field, and we actually lost the remainder of that game. It was only in the fourth inning, and we had to start over. There was literally no way possible with the suction to get the field covered at that point. So, you know, sometimes it's out of your control, and that was a bad incident. a few years back where they didn't call for it quickly enough, and the thing can be dangerous when there's wind involved. But the staff here is great. They work on it before the season even begins. They have it down to a science at Joe's leadership, and very, very quickly had it covered tonight. So if this passes, the field will be in fine shape. It didn't take very much water at all.
Well, certainly, and if you're just joining us, we are in rain delay here, middle of the fifth inning from PeoplesBank Park. Revs leading the Bridgeport Bluefish 4-1. We began this game tonight at 6:38 Eastern Daylight Time, so a little bit of a later start. We went to a delay at 7:46, and we had an official game, so this thing was on track to finish in about 2 hours. Very, very fast-moving game between Mike Antonini and Kelvin De La Cruz.
Yeah, they both worked at a good pace, and for us, that's fun to watch. I think for the players involved, and certainly their fielders behind them, that's a fun way to play. And this is pretty much what Kelvin did at Somerset after that first inning in his last start. He threw a lot of pitches in that first inning. I thought he was in real trouble last time out because they had an idea of a conservative pitch count on him, but he was able to withstand that first inning, stayed in for 5, and he actually got up over 100 pitches, which was huge for his first start to be stretched out like that. So he's almost, he's in full go mode at this point. 5 innings complete for the second straight start, but today, pretty much right from the beginning, he was at a good pace and looked comfortable out there. His first appearance at home on this mound other than spring training. And Will, like you said with Antonini, he had a couple of really quick innings, the first and the third in particular. I know a 4-pitch third inning like you mentioned, but the Revs did a good job in the second and the fourth. I thought the fourth, after that really quick third inning, it was imperative to make him throw some pitches, and they did that. And a lot of the production today, kind of the same part of the order in both the second and fourth inning, middle of the order down. He's handled the top 3 both times tonight, but 4 through 9, they've all either scored a run, gotten a hit, or driven in a run. In fact, they've all either scored, driven in a run, or gotten 2 hits. So it's the middle down that's hurt him. But alternating really quick innings with 2-run innings, which is how the Revs have built this 4-1 lead. And now you can hear the rain as it's really picked up to a heavy pace here. Good thing that they got the tarp on and made the decision to do so when they did.
Oh, for sure. And you look at Antonini, yes, he was only at 43 pitches by the time we're going to break here, and I would suspect now with the rain coming down, we're not going to get back to baseball for quite some time, so you can stick a fork in Antonini, he'll be done, and he may even be able to go for Luis Rodriguez a little bit earlier the next time out, since he only threw the equivalent of a side session pretty much. And conversely, for Kelvin De La Cruz, you expect him to be done, a little bit of a more standard start. 74 pitches through 5 innings. If he could have gotten out, he would have had a chance for a quality start, and maybe even team high on the season at 7 innings or so. But
he was on pace for that.
Mace will have to go into his bullpen after using quite a few of them yesterday. You had Micah Owings making his first start professionally in almost 2 years. So you had Correa with 2 innings, Gomez, Scutters with 1, Alsop with 2, Click with 1. So it could be a busy night for the bullpen once again.
Yeah, it's actually interesting though, as many relievers as they used yesterday, they're in better shape today than they were yesterday, because the guys that they held out yesterday would have been like a 3rd straight day, and now those guys are rested. So you have those relievers back and ready again, like DeMarc and Pena, and some of the guys that were used yesterday, today would only be their 2nd day in a row, so they are available. But if they have to go to the bullpen, which I would think they would after this delay, they should be in good shape to do that. And to your point on Bridgeport maybe having Antonini available again sooner than expected, depending on what their pitching situation is later in the week, they may welcome that, because these two teams will play a day-night doubleheader on Wednesday. The first game will only be 7 innings. The second game will be 9, but I'm sure both managers will be interested in any available pitching that they can come up with after an early season day-night doubleheader. And really pouring now. It's actually gotten quite dark overhead here. And I don't know, has the rain started yet, Will?
Well, according to our friends at the Weather Channel, it is not yet.
Oh, really?
I'm sorry. I missed half of what you said because they've got the Muppet version of Bohemian Rhapsody going up on the scoreboard here at PeoplesBank Park.
It wasn't important anyway.
And Beaker just came in with the ee, and everyone's doing the headbanging part of the song now. Oh, you just love it. Well, we'll take a quick look at our out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by York Mitsubishi. Hey, New Britain, this is what you've got in a couple of hours. You better get through the rest of it. And they're in the 6th inning from New Britain. Bees trailing Sugarland 2-0. Suppose we can take a look at the Major League scoreboard as well, since we only had one Atlantic League game to tell you about today. It's a Monday, so it's an abbreviated Major League schedule. Top of the 3rd from Pittsburgh, Pirates down 2-1 to the Chicago Cubs. Top of the 4th from Toronto, Blue Jays and Texas tied at 1 apiece. Top of the 3rd from Queens, Mets up 4-0 over the Atlanta Braves. The Giants are in Cincinnati up 3-0 over the Reds in the 3rd inning. LA Angels up over Milwaukee. That's at Miller Park in the top of the 3rd inning, and it's a 1-0 Angel lead. Just about to get underway, Minnesota at Houston, and later tonight, Philadelphia at St. Louis, Washington at Kansas City, your interleague matchup today, Seattle at Oakland, and Colorado at San Diego, where they probably don't see this much rain in 2 calendar years.
Yeah, this is something. Our first rain delay of the season, and it's a pretty good one. Well, we do have Game 3 of the Stanley Cup playoffs about to get started. The semifinals, I should say, Eastern Conference.
So we don't have to stretch this out anymore.
No, we're good.
Excellent.
We have great programming built in tonight.
Excellent.
During this whole charade. So we'll make sure you check out our Twitter feed at WOYK1350.
Give it a follow as well. We're building that audience, you know?
Yeah, do that. Actually follow it. And we'll have updates on the rain situation there. Also, when we have anything concrete, we'll come back and give you an update over the air, and hopefully that includes the restart of this game. If it doesn't restart, we'll certainly come back and tell you that. But for the meantime, Stanley Cup playoffs, Game 3, series tied 1-1. Capitals on the road tonight in Pittsburgh, and we'll join John Walton on the Capitals radio network coming up during our rain delay here at PeoplesBank Park tonight. For now, for Will DeBoer, Darrell Henry here, it's 4-1 York through an official game, 4.5 innings complete, a 4-1 Revs lead, and we'll be back as soon as we know something to inform you of that.
We'll be back even if we don't. I mean, that's going to be a rare occurrence anyway, that we know something.
That's right.
We'll be back.
So, yeah, we'll be back regardless, no matter what we know. But in the meantime, enjoy bonus coverage of Stanley Cup playoff action, Caps and Penguins coming up here on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. I'm there. You're there. You ready whenever?
Ready whenever.
Hey, give me just a second here. Come on. About 5 seconds.
And we are back here from PeoplesBank Park. The rain is clear, the field is mopped up, and the Bridgeport Bluefish are taking their warm-up tosses. We are back in the bottom of the 5th inning of this Monday night game between the York Revolution and the Bluefish. Revs leading 4-1 as we head to the last of the 5th inning. It will be Isaiah Tejeda, Josh Wilson, and Andres Perez to lead off the inning. Will DeBoer and Daryl Henry back with you in the booth. We survived the rain delay, had some fun, had some good companionship with the people up here in the booth, and now we are set to go with baseball again. A new pitcher for Bridgeport, as the starter Mike Antonini is done after 4 innings because of the rain. It is the league strikeout leader, David Kubiak, on the hill right now. All 6'7", 245 of them. The Riverhead, New Jersey native. And as they wait and get the gates closed out in right field, Tejeda digs in, and he is coming to the plate for the 3rd time today. Ground outs to short, both of his first 2 times up. Kubiak's first pitch, a fastball low and outside for ball 1. And Daryl, you were playing weatherman moments before we went on the air. You say that there might be some rainstorm coming in pretty quickly after this, as Tejeda bounces one over towards Angel Polanco, the third base coach.
Well, that's hearsay. I've heard that from others. I may just pull that radar up myself.
All right, while he does that, Kubiak into the wind with the 1-2. Floater, outside corner, strike 2. Kubiak spent a year in the Rays organization. That was 2011, and there's a pop-up. Shallow. Oncoming on is the third baseman, Vitters. He makes the catch, 1 away, and that rain delay officially 50 minutes. So we stopped, played about 7:46. We resume at 8:36. And we'll try and get as much of this game in as we can. It is, once again, an official ball game as we have crossed the threshold. Josh Wilson takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Wilson had what I'm sure will go on the Revs blooper reel for the end of the season, a slow tapper down the first base line that the pitcher Antonini had. He was about to tag Wilson, then he took off and ran the wrong direction. 0-1. He golfs this one into shallow right field. Oncoming for it is Nunez, who makes a running catch, 2 away. Made that harder than it needed to be. It looked more shoestring than you would have thought on something like that.
I know Wilson isn't quite hitting the ball yet the way he wants to, but when that ball went up, he didn't hang his head, didn't throw the bat, put his head down and ran hard, just in case. Guy is a definite professional.
Long-time major leaguer trying to get back there. And here's Andres Perez. First pitch, fastball right down George Street, called strike 1. Dre 0 for 2, a bounce out to short, a foul out to first. Kubiak with the 0-1, and there's a drive, butt-hooking foul down the left field line out towards the abandoned Arch Street Eats zone. The count goes to 0-2. Real quick, the final line on Mac Antonini. 4 innings, 4 runs on 6 hits, no walks, no strikeouts, 43 pitches, so we might see him, Darryl, a little bit earlier than you would expect for a starter coming off the start. He had basically a side project there. 0-2, stays tight, 1-2 the count. Revs up 4-1.
They may take advantage of that with the day-night doubleheader later this week. I mean, we may not see him again in this series, I wouldn't think, but maybe he could come back sooner.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. There's a rip into center field, and it falls in front of Ramirez for a base hit. So Andres Perez is on base for the first time today.
Well, if the futuristic radar is any indication, we actually should be okay until 10:30. But who knows? I'm no weatherman. Although we did stay at a Holiday Inn Express in New Britain.
As a breaking ball in our half, strike one to Telvin. Nash, he's 1 for 2 with a run today. Frequented by some presidential candidates, the Holiday Inn Express. And you can connect the dots on that if you would like to play along at home. Telvin takes a strike at the knees. It's 0-2.
Apparently my bathroom was leaking into the same room of some of our fans. It's a little awkward.
0-2 pitch. Inside, but Nash can't hold up his swing. The home plate umpire, Brian Child, rings him up, and that will retire the side. 2-out single from Andres Perez goes nowhere for the Revs. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. End of the 5th, your score of this resumed game. York 4, Bridgeport 1 on Revs Radio, WOYK.
Worst, I've got to get the kids to school in time to get to work, then it's just one long day of meetings. But hey, at least I don't have to worry about making dinner.
Kids eat free with People's Bank. Save money at every Wednesday home game.
So now when the Revs are in town, I just pull into a People's Bank, pick up that week's coupon, and dinner is done. Revolution Wednesdays? Awesome. Revolution!
Thanks to People's Bank, kids eat free at every Wednesday home game. No need to be a People's Bank customer. Just pick up your coupon at any People's Bank branch and do dinner at PeoplesBank Park. 1 coupon per child per game.
This week is National Small Business Week, May 1st through the 7th. Take a walk in downtown York and you'll quickly discover the many small businesses that make our city so unique. Did you know that for every $100 you spend at a local business, $68 stay in your community? Small businesses provide jobs for every 2 out of 3 Americans, creating a job market of 56 million people. Celebrate with us in downtown York. Eclectic dining, craft brews and cocktails, 2 historic farmers markets, hope to handmade shopping, public art, the 2015 Pennsylvania Trail of the Year, Championship Atlantic League Baseball, First Fridays, Fifth Fridays. Who knew you could see it all in York? Get to know York, again or for the first time, by visiting downtownyorkpa.com.
Listen up, people. This is the Rich Eisen Show.
He's a professional. And I did tweet out on 4th and 19, go blue. Irvin took a picture of me in the NFL Game Day morning meeting room celebrating, and I stupidly looked at his phone and did it. And he tweets it out what Rich Eisen was like when he thought You Miss Football won. I can't show you what it was like when they did not win. Do friends do that to friends?
No. The Rich Eisen Show.
Weekdays at noon on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. On it.
And we are back to the top of the 6th from PeoplesBank Park. Tony Pena's first pitch to Dan Johnson is a called strike. Pena's the new pitcher replacing Kelvin De La Cruz, who was taken out after the rain delay, and Tony misses inside the Johnson 1-1. Your line on De La Cruz, who stands to get the win if this thing holds the way the score says right now. It's 4-1 Revs in the top of the 6th. There's a foul off the end of the bat and off the plate for strike 2. De La Cruz, 1 run on 5 hits in 5 innings, no walks, a strikeout, and 74 pitches. And Tony Pena, who's making his 4th appearance of the year for the Revs, first since the home opener against Sugar Land on Thursday, fires a 1-2 pitch and rings him up, a called strike 3 on the inside corner.
Good pitch from Pena. I looked from here like it had some of that run back, started in toward the left-hand hitter's hip and get him to give up on it, and then tails back. Greg Maddox made a living on that, among other pitches.
Now here's Jose Cuevas, DH tonight, couple of ground outs in his first 2 trips. Launches a strike sail on the outside corner, 0-1. 88 miles an hour from Tony Pena, former major leaguer, one of the top setup men in Arizona Diamondback history. 0-1, fouled away. Paniagua washes its sail into the seats, and one of the few young fans that's still here from Glen Rock is going to take that home tonight. Cuevas adjusts the pants, steps back in. He wears those pants up high, revealing the socks the way baseball players ought to. Pena with the 0-2. Fastball, he left it outside, tried to get the Fish to do just that, but they did not that time. Cuevas will face a 1-2. Bridgeport at 5-5 coming into this one. They were rained out of their finale against New Britain on Sunday, and there's a wave and a whiff at an 83-mile-an-hour slider for strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for Tony Pena to lead off the 6th.
Yeah, he's one of the guys that yesterday was not available to be used. Back there tonight, even with the big bullpen day yesterday, the Revs bullpen as a whole in better shape tonight.
Luis Rodriguez stands in. He watches a fastball miss outside, ball 1. Rodriguez reached on the Brian Pounds error back in the 4th inning, was retired on a double play ball moments later. Pena from the center of the rubber is ready. High leg kick and the 1-0. Swung on and missed. Letter high. Rodriguez trying to helicopter on it, and he does come up with air for strike 1. York 4 runs on 7 hits and 1 error in this game. Bridgeport 1 run on 5 hits, no errors for them Fish. The 1-1 pitch, and there's a crack towards right field. On coming forward is Rocket, and he makes a stumbling running catch. Side retired. So Tony Pena, a strong first inning of work in relief. We'll probably see him the next time out, as that was just 11 pitches. Bluefish go down in order. Middle of the 6th, your score. York 4, Bridgeport 1 on Revs Radio, WOYK.
Dan Patrick Show.
Let's go! The NFL has a policy here. Johnny Unitas was going to be honored by Peyton Manning. He was going to wear high-top black shoes. The NFL said, no, you couldn't do it. Pat Tillman was going to be honored by Jake Plummer, and the NFL said, no, you can't. Craig Ironhead Hayward's son was going to honor him with eye blind. D'Angelo Williams, whose mother died of breast cancer in 2014, he wanted to honor her the entire season. The NFL said no. This was explained to me by the NFL years ago, that if we allow this for Peyton Manning with Johnny Unitas, which seems like a no-brainer, then what happens if you get Jimmy Lipper, who wants to honor his coach, and he's going to wear something? That's where the NFL, you may not like it, but it makes sense that you just say, no, we're not going to allow it. We can't allow this to happen. Because then everybody would be doing it.
The Dan Patrick Show.
We are going to PAR-TY. Mornings at 9 on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Need some fun with your food? Where else but Friendly's? Stop by Friendly's at 423 Laux Road in York for great deals like 50% off breakfast Monday to Friday from 7 to 11 a.m. or one of our 5 lunch and dinner meals for $5.55, including the quarter-pound cheeseburger. Stop by after the game with your Revs game ticket and save 15%. Friendly's has got you covered with great deals all day long. Friendly's, life with extra sprinkles.
The radio home of the Revs. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Bottom of the 6th, then Joel Guzman waves and whips the slider outside. Strike 1. It is the bottom of the 6th inning. Will DeBoer and Darrell Henry with you on WOYK, the flagship station of York Revolution baseball.
Yeah, it is.
Here's the 0-1 from Kubiak. There's a golf foul and out of play over towards the Mezzogiorno Picnic Pavilion. Guzman down in the count 0-2. If you're just joining us, we were in a rain delay through the middle portion of this game. There's a swing and a miss at a 73-mile-an-hour breaking ball for strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Kubiak, stretching back to the last half inning, and it's 1 away. But we are playing baseball right now thanks to our grounds crew and staff who, in the spotlight, got to really get that tarp down there, just like the stage delis got the spotlight on outstanding soup, salads, and sandwiches. First Friday is coming up this Friday, and the stage will be open late. Mention the Revs and get 10% off your order. Breaking ball right down George Street, where the stage happens to be located, for strike 1 to Brian Pounds.
Good food, Will.
Absolutely. Kubiak with the 0-1. Slider just a tick below the knees, and the count goes even at 1-1. Brian, a walk and a run back in the 4th inning. He eventually scored on Paniagua's sac fly. The 1-1 pitch. There is a fly ball to right field, but playable. On for it is Nunez, who makes the catch. That's the 3rd catch he's made today, Darrell, where it looks like he's leaning over, and any ball that's flying down there faster than he would expect would, launch him into the ground.
Yeah, he's a few leaning to his side. He's had a couple that have been a little adventurous. So if you hit it out there and he's got to move for it, you may want to break out of the box like Josh Wilson did last inning, just in case.
There's a first pitch slider taken for a strike by James Simmons, 0-1. Jimmy L. having a good day today. He's 2 for 2. Infield single in the 2nd and a regular single. He tried to stretch into a double in the 4th. There's a swing and a miss for strike 2. Revs up 4-1 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Kubiak ready. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Little check swing. He did not go around, says Tyler Thurman at first base. Simmons holding up on a slider left out in the rain. 1-2 the count now. James digs back in. Square stance, wave of the bat. 1-2, bouncer, foul. Threads the needle between Polo, the third base coach, and Kurt Brainin, the third base umpire.
Little lightning in the distance. Understand there's some thunder north of here, from what I've been informed.
We'll see how much of this game we can get in then. 1-2 pitch swung on and foul tipped into the mitt of Perez for strike 3. So, 3 strikeouts in 2 innings for the Atlantic League's strikeout king for the moment, Daniel Kubiak. Revs go down in order. And to the 6th year score, York 4, Bridgeport 1. Darrell Henry will take you home here on Revs Radio WOYK.
Money and business are essential to the strength of a community. So is cheering and celebration and music and fun. That's why York Revolution games, concerts, youth sports, special events, and more happen at a place called PeoplesBank Park. PeoplesBank has been serving York County for more than 150 years. Always cheering, always celebrating, always committed to the things that make York County great. And to you having a great time at PeoplesBank Park. People's Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Come on! Colin Cowherd.
Here's Chip Kelly talking about Tim Tebow once he released him.
I didn't feel like he was good enough to be the 3 right now.
He didn't say backup that just gets in. He's not good enough to be the 3rd string quarterback. And here's the thing. You can have him on the roster. You can't have him right behind Sam Bradford, who would pull a hammy yawning.
This is The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Individual game tickets are now on sale for the 2016 York Revolution season. Be there as the Revs celebrate their 10th anniversary season with the biggest promotional schedule in team history. 20 giveaways, including 8 bobbleheads, inside the park fireworks shows every Saturday, and a host of incredible entertainment acts like Cowboy Monkey Rodeo, Superstars, the Philly Fanatic, and an appearance by former NASCAR driver Ernie Irvan. Buy online at YorkRevolution.com, over the phone at 801-HITS, or in person at the Apple Chevrolet ticket office.
All about local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Into the 7th inning, 4-1, the Revs lead. Tony Pena stays in. And first pitch to Josh Vitters is cut on and missed. A slider to begin the 7th. Pena 1, 2, 3, 6th inning with a pair of Ks. Also a line out to right. It'll be 6, 7, and 8 in the Bridgeport order. And the 0-1 from Pena, swing and a miss on a slider. I understand that it's raining heavily in Spring Grove to our west. And guys, I hate to say it, I think it was raining in your hotel room last weekend too. Sorry about that. It was the 0-2, and it just missed outside. I didn't even realize, I didn't put 2 and 2 together at first, and then room 240 had sprung a leak. Here's the 1-2. Swung on, driven to left center field. Tejeda moving over. This will carry back, and it'll land and skip to the base of the wall, and Vitters into second with a leadoff double. As Tejeda heaves it in, that ball I'm sure wet on the track. And I think that carried a lot further than he anticipated off the bat. It looked like he went straight over toward left center, and the ball carried deeper and ended up flying out over his head.
Yeah, not the most efficient route for the way the ball ended up landing out there. Part of it could be Tejeda's relative inexperience out in left field. Mark Mason trying to find a position for him, so he sticks him out in left on a day Jason Repko has off.
Here's Carlos Sosa, 2 groundouts tonight. Pitch from Pena, right down the middle, and that's a strike. Saw Tejeda, the one game that he played in left field in spring training, he made a diving catch. I mean, he's got tools and talent, and you could put him in a multitude of positions. The 0-1, and that misses down low. 4-1 is the lead. Revs some breathing room as we start the 7th. Calvin De La Cruz tonight, a nice outing. 5 innings, 1 run. No walks and 1 strikeout, like Will mentioned. He really pitched to contact tonight. 74 pitches through 5. Now Pena look back, the 1-1, and a swing and a foul out of play, third base side.
Just to close the book on Tejeda there, this is the first game he has played in left field since he was with the Yankees 1 team, the Dominican Summer League, back in 2010.
Wow.
And a catcher primarily, played some at third base and first base with Charleston.
Pitch is just inside, 2-2. Pena looking to bounce back from the home opener, charged with 3 runs, 2 of those scoring after his exit, which came in an inning and a third Thursday night. Now the stretch, and the 2-2. Swing and a miss! He blew him away with a high fastball. And 1 down here in the top of the 7th. 3 of his 4 outs on strikeouts. By the way, we will, assuming time will permit, we'll go back to the Caps and Penguins upon completion of our game.
That we shall.
Here is Rosmel Perez, who has batted twice and has grounded out to second base both times. Revs a 4-1 lead here with 1 out in the 7th. And Pena into his stretch. A little peek back at second, fires home and missed up around the letters that spell fish.
You think they ever have rain delays at hockey games?
Well, Will, I would doubt it. Maybe one of those outdoor games. Actually, yeah, they delayed one of those. There's the 1-0, and it's beaten off the plate, skipping over toward the first base dugout. I shouldn't have been so dismissive of your...
Well.
of your thought. Perez was last at Norfolk in the Orioles system. And that's how I'll choose to pronounce that town name. AAA.
Hi, FCC.
Oh, they're always watching. Here's the 1-1. And a swing and a pop-up. Paniagua off with that fresh mask. He'll move partially to his left and makes the catch. About 15 feet off to the third base line and handles it for out number 2 in foul territory.
Those plays are always harder than they seem. I mean, 1, you're looking straight up at the ball. 2, you don't know what's down there at your feet to trip over. You don't know when you're on grass, when you're on dirt. If you haven't tossed the mask out of the way well enough, if you got plastic you're going to step on. Very, very underrated skill that catchers have, and Paniagua executed.
Here is Luis Nunez, and Pena fires upstairs for ball 1. Nunez tonight yanked a single off the arch nemesis in the 3rd and scored their run. Then in the 5th inning he doubled. And now in 2 games with Bridgeport, he's 5 for 7. Hitting .714, the 1-0. And he fouls it back up over the roof. They were rained out yesterday, but Saturday against New Britain, they won in 11 innings, and Nunez had the game-tying 2-run hit in the 8th. The guy on deck, Luis Hernandez, had the walk-off home run in the 11th. Now Pena, they set up in the 1-1. Oh, didn't get the call. A sinker that ran right back into Paniagua's glove. 2 balls and a strike. Pena seems to be wondering where it missed. Talvin Nash had some words on the check swing at the end of last inning. The 2-1 and a ground ball hugging the line at 3rd and foul. Nunez trying to yank that inside fastball, just missed the bag. It's 2-2. 50-minute rain delay in the middle of the 5th inning, our first of the year. We'll wait and see what transpires the rest of the night weather-wise. We're in the 7th now. Got the game official just before the rains came, and now time asked for.
Someone playing the human clock out there. Yes, it is 9 o'clock.
Good call. Next one is down and away. It's a full count. The tying run is on deck, and that's Hernandez, who hit the game-ending homer in their last game. Doesn't look like he has a lot of pop. He's a little middle infielder hitting at the top, but he's got some pop. Paniagua now out to have a word with Pena before a full count offering coming up to Nunez. Funky town.
Talk about it.
Now set. And the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 3-2 slider. They were willing to go there with the tying run on deck. And Pena fools Nunez. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left. 7th inning stretch here on a damp night at PeoplesBank Park. Revs lead it 4-1.
The more we help the ones in need, the more progress our community will make.
By focusing on quality education, income opportunities, and basic health care,
all of York County can have access to the building blocks of a good quality of life.
Together we can load the bases for our community.
And hit a home run.
Give generously to the 2016 United Way Community Fund.
Find out more and give now at unitedway-york.org.
Does your wealth advisor know how you take your coffee? At Smith, Mayer & Little Wealth Advisory Group, we genuinely get to know our clients, from their interests, goals, and dreams, right down to how they like their coffee. By understanding our clients on a personal level, we help them make wise financial decisions. In us, you will find a trusted confidant dedicated to your financial success. Smith, Mayer & Little, a wealth of knowledge about wealth. Get to know us over a cup of coffee, or visit us at financialjava.com.
Janney Montgomery Scott LLC, member NYSE, FINRA, and SIPC.
Come and celebrate 10 years of York Revolution baseball with the Celebrate York Series presented by Memorial Hospital. The series honors significant contributions from York, Pennsylvania's most notable events and favorite citizens with giveaways every Friday night home game. The series continues on Friday, May 13th with a Marquis de Lafayette bobblehead giveaway. Visit YorkRevolution.com for more details. It's the Celebrate York Series, proudly presented by Memorial Hospital for the York Revolution's 10th anniversary season.
Your teams all the time. York's only place for local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Bottom of the 7th, 4-1 the Revs lead it. Salvador Paniagua held off on a slider away from Kubiak to begin the inning. The 1-0 pitch is down and away, another slider. And it's ball 2 on Paniagua, a 4-1 lead. Kubiak still in his third inning of relief. Here's the 2-0. And that's just inside, bounced off of Perez's mitt. And it's ball 3 on Paniagua. Rocket and Tejeda also due to bat this inning. 4 runs, 7 hits, and an error for York. 1 run, 6 hits, no errors for Bridgeport. Now Kubiak ready, the 3-0. Taking all the way, a cutter comes across for a strike. Guess they want to get him stretched out. Here's the 3-1, and a swing and a foul tip into the mitt. His longest outing, 3 1/3. (3-2), and a swing and a foul straight back. Went 2 scoreless in his last outing, struck out 5, which was against New Britain on Friday night. Another 3-2, and a swing and a foul ball back. Kubiak acquired from Joliet of the Frontier League for a player to be named later before the year. Another 3-2, swing and a pop up toward the York dugout, foul, and this will end up carrying well back and out of play. And the rain has started again. A light drizzle, but it'll send some for cover. And I wonder for how long it'll only be a light drizzle.
The bullpen over there in Bridgeport's being chased away.
Here's a swing and a foul back into the stands again.
I think it's what Sally's doing here. He keeps fouling pitches back and he keeps knocking out cloud cover.
Maybe the Yinglings can tell me, was it a drizzle or a downpour in the hotel room? Here's a swing and a high fly ball to left center. Did he get enough? Nope. Carlos Sosa over from left. He'll make the catch. Got under it, and it died out in left center field, medium deep. That's out number 1.
We do have official attendance tonight, Darryl. 1,331 fans on a Monday night. A lot of them sticking with us in the rain here, and we appreciate that very much.
It'll probably be the lowest total of the year. Here's Michael Rocket. First pitch breaking ball is up high. Rocket 1 for 2, a 2-run single that opened the scoring in the second inning. A little flicker of lightning off to the north and west. Here's a curveball, bends in for a strike. It's 1-1.
You like to have some symmetry and get through 7 complete innings there. Then I think Child and Company are just going to stick a fork in it.
Now Rocket tries to bunt his way on, but foul. Down toward Polo at third. Good idea in the conditions. Rocket, a good bunter. He works on that in batting practice.
And confident enough in his own spikes, more so than the spikes of bidders over at third base. The only reason you bunt in a rainy condition like this is if you absolutely know that you're going to beat it out.
Kubiak deals. Curveball missed inside. Good eye. I do feel like I've seen more players slip in recent years than before. I don't know if cleats aren't the same as they used to be. I doubt that, but 2-2, swing and a miss. Got him to reach down low. He almost ran into Perez going for the ball. Perez steps out and makes the throw to first. 2 away. We'll pause for station identification on Revolution Radio.
First in York, First in sports. Your only local sports station. The new Sports Radio 1350. WOYK, York, Pennsylvania.
Rain light but steady. That's the fourth strikeout for Kubiak through 9 hitters. He's given up 1 base hit. That's it. Here's Tejeda. And he watches a strike come in. Tejeda 0 for 3 on the night. Like Will mentioned earlier, it's his first game played since the doubleheader last week. As he takes just inside, and some lightning flashing right as Kubiak let go of that ball. So if hitting wasn't tough enough as is, just imagine things illuminating as the ball comes. Here's a swing and a miss. Tejeda let it fly, little foul tip into the glove.
Daniel Corella talked about, getting hit with the ball is part of the game, and it's just something you got to put past. Rain and lightning is not. I don't know if they can look past that.
Here's a swing and a miss, breaking ball, and Tejeda tagged out by Perez. 5 more strikeouts for David Kubiak through 3 shutout innings. And this game appears to be headed for the 8th. Joe Morgan heading out to first base. Tyler Thurman to show him the radar. Matt Neal looking over his shoulder, very interested. The Revs tarp crew gathered in right. So we'll see. We head to the 8th. Revs lead it 4-1.
Wednesdays are the worst. I've got to get the kids to school in time, to get to work, then it's just one long day of meetings. But hey, at least I don't have to worry about making dinner.
Kids eat free with People's Bank. Save money at every Wednesday home game.
So now when the Revs are in town, I just pull into a People's Bank, pick up that week's coupon, and dinner is done. Revolution Wednesdays? Awesome. Revolution!
Thanks to People's Bank, kids eat free at every Wednesday home game. No need to be a People's Bank customer. Just pick up your coupon at any People's Bank branch and do dinner at PeoplesBank Park. 1 coupon per child per game.
This week is National Small Business Week, May 1st through the 7th. Take a walk in downtown York and you'll quickly discover the many small businesses that make our city so unique. Did you know that for every $100 you spend at a local business, $68 stay in your community? Small businesses provide jobs for every 2 out of 3 Americans, creating a job market of 56 million people. Celebrate with us in downtown York. Eclectic dining, craft brews and cocktails, 2 historic farmers markets, hope to handmade shopping, public art, the 2015 Pennsylvania Trail of the Year, Championship Atlantic League Baseball, First Fridays, Fifth Fridays. Who knew you could see it all in York? Get to know York again or for the first time by visiting downtownyorkpa.com.
Payne doesn't take Sunday off. Neither do we. We're open weekdays 8 to 8 and weekends 9 to 6. Just walk into WellSpan Urgent Orthopedics, 2319 South George Street in York, across from the Apple Hill Health Campus. Visit wellspan.org/urgent orthopedics today.
The revolution plays here. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Well, here comes the tarp again. It was a light drizzle when we went to inning break, and now it's another downpour. And Tony Pena was in his warm-ups for a 3rd inning of relief. Oh no, one of our staffers, Brian, was down on all fours, about to be engulfed by the tarp, but he's back up. At any rate, right as Pena was maybe 2 warm-ups in, the skies opened and another downpour. There's some more lightning out over left field. So Tyler Thurmond, who's the crew chief, motioned for them. All right, come on out. And the tarp is now on. And that one, I'm sure, a little bit trickier than the first one since the ground is now wet. Joe Morgan just went sliding on his feet as he was trying to stop from running. Stayed on his feet. That was pretty impressive. But they have the tarp on the field. But yet again, a rain delay, our 2nd of the night, and we'll see if this one brings a close to the evening. Revs lead at 4-1, headed to the 8th. Tony Pena's gone 2 scoreless, and he was about to pitch his 3rd inning. Mark Mason heading up to the clubhouse, and we'll see. We're at the weather's mercy at this point, but Revs have the lead, and I'm sure they'd be fine with the getting back at it tomorrow. But we'll see. And we do have playoff hockey that we can head back to here until we get official word on the status of this game going forward. But the good thing, Will, the Revs built their lead early on a night like this. I was a little bit surprised based on what we heard that the rain got here as early as it did, but you definitely want to score early on a night like that. They did that, and Tony Pena, a great job to hold down the 2 innings once play resumed.
Oh, absolutely, Daryl. I mean, you couldn't have drawn up any better for a potential rain-shortened victory right there. You get on the board early, you'll hold the lead as much as you can, you wait for it to go official, and it's all good just like that. Now, as the rain really starts to come down here, let's take one last look at our out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by York Mitsubishi. This one's final in New Britain in 2 hours and 24 minutes, so they got this in under the rainstorm. Sugarland 4, New Britain nothing. So the Skeeters, for the moment, have gone a half game clear, 1.5 games clear of Lancaster and York. The Revs will keep pace with the Skeeters if this result holds, which increasingly appears that it is, and Lancaster will fall a game and a half behind. Looking ahead to tomorrow's schedule, when the entirety of the ALPB will be back up in action again. Revs host the Bluefish for the second of 4 in this 3-day midweek series. That's at 6:30. Daryl and I will be on the call for that. Sugarland is at New Britain once again in the 2 series that will get underway. Lancaster at Long Island and Southern Maryland at the undefeated Somerset Patriots.
All right, Will. Well, the downpour continuing. Revs lead at 4-1 after 7. Again, if you weren't with us earlier, 2-run single from Michael Rocket in the second, a solo homer to left from Joel Guzman in the 4th, and then Salvador Paniagua adding a sac fly in the 4th inning. Kelvin De La Cruz, 5 innings, 1 run, looking for his 2nd win of the year and 1st as a starter, and Tony Pena, 2 scoreless innings following that in relief. Really coming down here, and while we wait, once again, we've got a great plan B to go to. We're going to join Caps Penguins in progress again. Game 3 of the Eastern Conference semifinals, so stay tuned for that. And as soon as we have anything official, we'll be back here to pass that along for you. Revs up 4-1 at the end of 7. Let's now rejoin John Walton and Ken Sabarin on the Capitals Radio Network.
You can hear yourself, can't you?
Yeah, I can hear myself.
It's just, we're under siege with the sound. And we're under siege with hail quite as well.
How about now?
No, there you go.
As I was trying to say, back at PeoplesBank Park, I could have just shouted into your headset, I guess, but
I appreciate
mine works
you
again.
trying not to do that.
Yeah, I figured I'd stay over here. It is an official game, and we've just been trounced with hail here at PeoplesBank Park. It's been a long time since I've seen that here at the stadium, but it's a full-blown washout now. A rain-shortened 7-inning win for the Revs as they defeat the Bridgeport Bluefish 4-1. Again, a rain-shortened 7 innings. Our second rain delay of the night is the final one, and we waited the necessary 30 minutes, things not getting any better. In fact, they've gotten much worse. It's actually a little bit difficult to see the detail of the far surroundings of the stadium with how hard the rain's coming down, and it is definitely puddling all the way around the perimeter of the playing field. And as we said, hail coming down. It was like glass chips falling from the sky is what it looked like.
Hail, glass chips.
And all that and more at a Revs game Monday night. And it was lightning, still is lightning, on and off. So that'll do it for this one. Again, a rain-shortened 4-1 win in 7. And Will, time for our recap from this one tonight. And on a night like this, you never know, but it ended up being quite the good thing that the Revs scored early in this one. And a couple of nice innings offensively, is a couple of 2 spots. That's all that Calvin De La Cruz needed to get this win.
Right, you are, Daryl. The scoring opened in the second inning. Telvin Nash and Joel Guzman with back-to-back hard-hit singles. Line drives off their bats. Then 2 batters later, James Simmons legs out an infield hit. Salvador Peniagua couldn't get the runner home with the bases loaded and 1 out. He flew out, but Michael Rocket found the space in left field, dropped a base hit in there to score 2 runs and make it 2-0 for the good guys. Bridgeport coming back with 1 in the top of the third inning, an RBI single by Wilkin Ramirez. Then in the bottom of the fourth, Joel Guzman said, hello, sir, and goodbye, baseball. A long, long home run over the arch nemesis. That's his second of the season. Second, right?
Yes.
Yes, second home run and 7th RBI. He has put together one fine homestand here, and it's a good thing for him. He's got 3 more games. Revs added 1 more run later in that inning as Peniagua drove in Brian Pounds on a sac fly. And that was it for the scoring. We had an official ball game after the top of the 5th, and the first rain delay came around. We waited around, played a couple of more innings, and we called it here at about 9:41 after 7 complete innings. So your final score, York 4 and Bridgeport 1. Revs scoring 4 runs on 7 hits with 1 error. They left 3 men on base. The Bluefish plated 1 run on 6 hits, no errors, 5 left on. The winning pitcher, Kelvin De La Cruz. He is now 2-1 on the season after 5 innings of 1 run, 5 hit ball. No walks and a strikeout on 74 pitches. The loss goes to Mike Antonini. He is 1-2. Allowed 4 runs on 6 hits and 4 innings. No walks, no strikeouts, and just 43 pitches for him. And a makeshift save put together by Tony Pena, holding a 3-run lead for the final 2 innings that were played of this contest. 2 innings, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, 4 strikeouts, 29 pitches, his first save of the season. It began at 6:38. It ended at 9:12 with a 50-minute rain delay. That's an hour and 44 minutes in front of a paying crowd of 1,331 fans here on a Monday night in PeoplesBank Park as the lights go out on the scoreboard and the advertisements in center field. And the lights are about to go out, I have a feeling, on us, Daryl, so we might as well wrap this thing up as soon as we can.
Sounds good. Good win for the Revs tonight. 1 hour and 43 minutes is just 6 minutes longer than the shortest game in team history, which was a rain-shortened 6-inning game, a home loss against